Hello everybody, good evening and welcome to the United Stand. Liverpool against Manchester United at Anfield should be the epitome of the game of the season for us Manchester United fans, but it's not. It's a game of trepidation, it's a game of uncertainty, and it's a game of very little hope. And that is reflected in the team news that is on the screen that is now coming through from Ralf Rangnick's Manchester United side. It's an embarrassment. It's an absolute embarrassment. I hope they can prove us wrong. But it's one of the worst teams I've ever seen us put out at Anfield. And we're going to struggle. I can't believe Ralf Rangnick, who I don't think has ever played a back five, has now decided to play a back five. I hate the back five. If I get proved wrong, I'm absolutely happy to get proved wrong. But I'm telling you, at Anfield, with a back five, you need, if you're playing a back five, Liverpool don't play with the front four. They play with the front three. So why do we play three centre-backs against what is effectively a false nine? If you're going to play with a back five, your fullbacks have to have the ability to push up the pitch. Dalot and Wan-Bissaka ain't pushing up the pitch. Jones, Lindelof and Maguire, it's like a cast for a carry-on film. It's like Dumb and Dumber and Dumberer. It's like we're going to get absolutely humiliated here. As soon as the first goal goes in, we're screwed. I'm stunned he's gone with this team. I'm hoping against hope that it actually is a back four, but I can't see how it would be a back four. We are going to get humiliated. That is a white flag team. This is Manchester United at Anfield against our biggest rivals, and we put that shower of shit out. So look, I've always been defensive of Rangnick, but that team's a joke, an absolute joke. Eric Bailly is actually fit. Keep that in your mind. Eric Bailly is fit, and we're playing three centre-backs of Jones, Lindelof and Maguire. I just hope we can get a 0-0. I really just hope we can get a 0-0 because beyond that, I just it makes you want to throw up. And also, where's Sancho? Where's Telles? Like, what? If you're gonna play a back five, play Telles. For fuck's sake, play Telles. Like he's an attacking left back. So we put Dalot at left back for the first time this season. We give Phil Jones his second start of the season. We bring Wan-Bissaka back in on the right hand side. We play three centre backs, which have got no pace. I mean, I'm baffled. I'm absolutely baffled by it. I think there's so many different ways we could have selected this team better. But look, it'll probably work. I don't think we live in hope. I just think I live in miracle. I think it will take a bloody miracle tonight for Manchester United to get anything. In relation to some questions about the bench, Sancho's on the bench. Garancho's on the bench. McTominay is actually on the bench. Mata, Lingard, Hannibal, Bailly, and Telles. So there's four people that could have started this game for me. I'm sure we'll hear about Scooby-Doo being brave and getting himself on the bench. Good. Brave, that's what we need, isn't it? Brave hearts. That'll get us back on top. If he's not fit, he's not fit. Don't put him on the bench. I can't be asked for bravery. You don't get anything for we're not handing out bravery awards. We ain't got Philip Schofield and bloody Holly Willoughby on the panel giving out bravery awards. It's Manchester United against Liverpool, and if you're fit, you're fit, and if you're not, you're not. But look, I'm worried. Obviously, that we, through devastating circumstances, there is no Cristiano Ronaldo. I've actually heard that Liverpool fans are thinking about doing an applause in the 7th minute, which at Anfield would be absolutely amazing if that does happen, and I hope it does. I don't think anyone would demand that Liverpool fans do that. So if they do that, that would be absolutely amazing. Should have started Scotty over Fernandes, says Sultan. Let me just say this: we are sponsored by Boohoo Man on the show today, and as you can see on the screen, I'm conscious that it's there, so I just want to explain what it's all about. Boohoo Man, today's watch along is sponsored by Boohoo Man Active. Boohoo Man Active is all about looking good and feeling good while you're working out, or even if you just sit watching streaming in front of loads of people, like I'm wearing a Boohoo Man Active top now. The United Stand audience have the great opportunity of winning £800 worth of Boohoo Man clobber with a voucher that they're giving out, and all you've got to do is enter the competition, and it couldn't be easier. All you've got to do is scan the QR code that is on the screen or hit the link in the description and fill in the form on the competition entry site and hit submit, and that's all you've got to do. You've got until 12 p.m. on Monday the 25th of April to get your entry in. At that time, all the entries will be collected, and the winner of the £800 voucher will be chosen at random. The winner will be announced on the Tuesday the 26th of April evening show on United Stand, so make sure you tune in for that. Fantastic opportunity to win an £800 voucher. You can be wearing stuff like I'm wearing here from the Boohoo Man Active range. £800 voucher. All you've got to do, grab your phone, put your camera on, hold it up to the QR code on the screen, fill in your details and enter, and then you're in the competition. And if you can't wait to find out if you've won competition and you want to get something like this before then, you can also use the code Goldbridge to get 40% off a huge range of Boohoo-Man's things on their website. So thank you very much to Boohoo-Man for supporting the show. And make sure you hit the link in the description, Goldbridge for 40% off, or the link in the description, or scan it for an £800 voucher competition. Fantastic little thing. Only takes a few seconds. You could be a winner. Unlike United tonight, you could be a winner. I'm purposely jinxing this with every little bit of how I'm unashamedly trying to jinx this game. I'm not even messing about. I'm trying to jinx it. We've got absolutely no chance. It's a terrible team. And they've been terrible all season. I mean, Nathaniel makes a great point. It's not return of the boots and the pink, return of the boots and the pink, return of the boots one more time. It's not just one pair of pink boots. We've got 2 pairs of pink boots because Maguire wears pink boots as well. It's Pink Boots FC, says Nathaniel. Be honest, Mark, Ralph has had as much favouritism and defensive mindedness as Ollie, says Sachin. I don't need to be. This is the worst part of the bus lineup I've ever seen. Sachin, I'll be honest. I'll be absolutely honest. If this was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer or this was Jose Mourinho, the chat would be going mad. I love Ralph Rangnick. I think he speaks very openly and honestly. Do I think he wants to put a team like that out tonight? No, but he has. I don't get why we're playing a back 5. I absolutely am 100% against it. I'm really hoping I'm going to get proved wrong, but I do not get why, for the first time in Ralph Rangnick's tenure. And here he is, look, Harry Maguire. He looks like he's crapped his pants. He's walking towards the camera with the saddest, awkwardest face you'd ever want to see. Does he look like a guy who's ready to lead? Look at it. We've got him on his indifferent clothes now. He just looks terrified. He's got a bit of fake tan on. You still look pale. You look absolutely terrified. But this is Man United's captain. He's gonna have the game of his life now. He's got it on the phone. He's going, I'm going to show him. I hope you do. I hope you prove me wrong. Why start Delo a right footer at left back over Tellez a lefty, says Joe? Well, to be fair, Delo did play as a left back a little bit at Porto before we bought him. Harry Maguire better be wearing a different colour pair of boots. That's Phil Jones's trademark, says Joshua. Did you watch the Harry Maguire interview? He said he's good because he gets picked every game and both managers think he deserves to start each game. Adam, delusion is one thing. Look, we need these players to deliver today. We need them to deliver like Amazon. They've got to deliver. I'm not going to be, I'm not going to be there saying, look, that they're not good enough and things like that, because I think we already know that. But look, I haven't even looked at the Liverpool team. Let's get the Liverpool team. The Liverpool team. Look, it's going to be. Well, they ain't parking the bus, are they? Imagine if Klopp was playing about 5. They are not going to park the bus, of course. They're going to go for it. And the thing that scares me the most is, and I say scared, I'm not scared, but the thing that worries me the most is that when Liverpool score the first goal, it's over for us. Like the way we've selected that team, it is a park the bus team. I actually don't have a massive problem with what he's trying to do with the front 2. I think that's not a bad idea. A bit of pace on the break might cause problems, but we're not playing idiots. We're not playing idiots. We're playing Van Dijk, and I'm just trying to get you the team now. Put it on my screen. Okay, so the Liverpool team, as I have it, is Alisson, Trent, Matip, Van Dijk, Robertson, Fabinho, Henderson, Thiago, Diaz, Salah, Mane. I mean, it's their best team. The only debate there is whether Jota could have played instead of Diaz, but it's their best team. And you look at you look at it and go, interesting, very, very interesting. Thank you very much. Liverpool lineups on the screen from That's Football Twitter there, which is great. But look, Kai, the first thing I want to talk about the team that's the United team on my left. Eric Bailly's on the bench. I've got to call this out. Somebody said it there, and I've got to call it out. Maybe he picked Maguire to have someone to kick his teammates in the head on the pitch, as Stev. And hi, Mark. I think playing 5 at the back to free Pogba from defensive responsibility. Yeah, I want to talk about that as well. I think that's a good point from Ash. Ronaldo can't play, and this is the contingency plan. We've become laughable, says Druv. And yeah, but look, I think a couple of things there. The back five to me is flawed. I hope to be wrong on this. We've all got our own ideas tactically, but I said this in the preview. I would never play a back five in a game like this. We've never played a back five under Ralph Rangnick. He's not a back five manager with Manchester United. We only played on Saturday afternoon, and we're now going to play a back five at Anfield against one of the best teams in the world. We are not prepared to do this by any means. So why are we doing it? We've put a right back at left back. We're playing a right back who hasn't been playing well. We've got three centre backs who aren't even our three best centre backs. We've got people saying, look, we're playing a back five to give Pogba more freedom. Why does Pogba get more freedom? The problem in this game is going to be the runners from midfield. You're going to have Jones, Lindelof and Maguire with no one to mark. Who are they going to mark? We've got three centre-backs marking who? They're marking space because Diaz, Salah and Mane will be moving around all over the place, and they've got a front three and we've got a back five. So what are their centre-backs going to do? They're going to have to try and pick the runners up. The fullbacks are going to overlap. Who's going to track the fullbacks? This is what I'm thinking about a back five. We'd have been far better off playing a back four with two wide players who track Robertson and Trent. Who's going to track Robertson and Trent? Is this actually a back five with a back? Is it a back seven? Because if Elanga and Rashford are tracking Trent and Robertson, that's a back seven. If you're going to leave Telles, well, it's not Telles. If it's Dalot and Wan-Bissaka's job to mark Robertson and Trent, we're going 3 for 3 with Salah, Mane and Jota. It doesn't, a back five to me just doesn't work. And they're going to destroy us down the flanks like they did at Old Trafford. So it doesn't make any sense to me anyway. The first 7 goals are coming to a clear indicator of what's to come, says Leon. Mark, is it a 3-4-3, says Go Maguire. Well, look, I'm hoping there might be something weird about the formation. So when you look at it tactically, I think it will be a back 7, which is embarrassing. But if it's a back 7, where's the pace on the break? And then the real big thing for me is that when you look at the profile of centre-back that he's picked, there should always be contrast. If you've got a Roy Keane type midfielder who's vicious, box to box, gets his foot on the ball, and then got Paul Scholes who's a bit of a magician, they contrast each other. Where's the contrast in 3, not 2? You know, your centre-backs should contrast each other. You think about Ferdinand, pace, recovery, decent on the ball, Vidic, aerial ability, monster defender. They contrast each other really, really well. We're playing 3 centre-backs, right? Where's the contrast? All 3 of them ain't quick. All 3 of them are a little bit dodgy when it comes to positional sense. I would have played Eric Bailly every day of the week because you've got a bit of pace in your back, in your 3 centre-backs there. Why is Eric Bailly not being picked ahead of a Phil Jones or a Harry Maguire or a Victor Lindelof? Considering every time we've used Eric Bailly, and even in the Ollie days, he tends to get thrown in because Lindelof's been overplayed or Maguire's been overplayed. Every time we've played Bailly, he's stepped in and done a good job, including this season at Stamford Bridge. So why are we not chucking Eric Bailly into a game like this? He's perfect for this game. Salah and Mane and Diaz are fast. We've got 3 statue defenders. Watch out for pigeon shit, is what I would say to Jones, Maguire and Lindelof, because they're statues. And there's a lot of pigeons in Liverpool city centre, and they're going to shit all over you. So I don't know why Eric Bailly's not starting. I think it's ridiculous. But it comes back to the same old thing. There are clearly things at play at Manchester United that are not normal. I.e., we saw it with Donny, we've seen it with Eric Bailly, we've seen it with other players as well. You're not getting picked not for your footballing talent. You're not getting picked for something else. They should have played this at the Oval. Is Ralph off his game? Says Karen took the kids. I think Lindelof will help Matic and play in front of the defence, connecting attack and defence. I hope it's a back 4, Kartik. I would love to see Phil Jones or Lindelof dropping into the midfield, but I can't see it happening because the rest of the team doesn't make sense for that to happen. If you look at that graphic next to me, if you take Phil Jones and drop him into the midfield in a midfield 2 with Matic, all right, Elanga goes to the wing, Rashford goes to the wing, it could become a 4-2-2-2, but we're cruising for a bruising, says Varron. And Jameson says, yesterday you said not to get players with medical history. Does Nunez medical history worry you, says Jameson Gray? Not really looked at it in any real depth, mate. Mark, in your opinion, do you think our players would be able to match this Liverpool team in effort and energy tonight? Because I think that's the only way we'll have a chance to get a result, says Stev. And welcome to the United Stand Members Club, Yodace. Thank you very much. Make sure you check out the exclusive video content we've got for the members. The first 7 goals were okay. So please subscribe as well, bottom right-hand corner. This is so desperate from us. I'm honestly ashamed. Watch them stand like statues as Salah glides through that back three, says Nick P. Well, look, on a positive, we've got to try and get through the first 20 minutes. Get through the first 20 minutes and don't concede a goal is what we've got to try and do. If we can get through the first 20 minutes and do that, then I think maybe we get through the next 10, we get to half time. But I think I've watched many underdog stories in my life. Rocky Balboa, I've seen that. I've read David and Goliath in the Bible. I think Manchester United at Anfield tonight is a proper underdog story. We are going to, not only are we a bad defensive side, we're also bad on the ball. It's not like I think we can get up the pitch and keep hold of the ball. We haven't really got anybody who's going to be that good on the ball. So, look, miracles can happen. We need one. Do you think so we've read that one from there. Troy says, get thrashed today, announce Ten Hag tomorrow. Yeah, that's happening, Troy. And because Bay's crap, he's one of the worst defenders I've ever seen play, says Sean Turner. How Sancho isn't starting over Rashford is just baffling. What's Rashford going to do to run into people, says Sean. Yeah, but Sean, unfortunately, you're wrong. You are actually wrong, because Eric Bailly has been brought in to these games before. I think he's done it. I think he did it against Chelsea this season. He's certainly done it in previous seasons. Eric Bailly in this type of game is perfect, and he offers you a different type of centre-back. There's some mobility there. He'll put his body on the line. Jones ain't quick, Maguire ain't quick, and Lindelof's not quick. Are we playing Jones in a midfield, or is it a back five, says Mandy. And Ralph Simeonic is about to pull off a defensive masterclass, Mark. What colour boots will Maguire wear now? He has to give Jones his pink ones back, says Mason Reed. Maybe Lindelof is playing at full-back and Delo's in the midfield, says Joseph. And welcome to the... We will have a miracle, says Go Maguire. There we go. Don't forget, on the screen now, you can win an £800 voucher with Boohoo Man, who are sponsoring the show, or you can go through the link in the video description. You just scan your QR code on the screen with your phone, enter your details, and you will be entered into the draw with Boohoo Man to win an £800 voucher. This tracksuit top I'm wearing today, it is very much Manchester United colours, but it's not a Manchester United top. It's from Boohoo Man. It's part of their Boohoo Man Active range. You can get this if you win with your £800 voucher, but you can also use the code Goldbridge if you want to order it and get 40% off as well. But yes, hold your phone up on your camera, try the QR code. It should take you straight to the website, fill your details in while you're waiting, and you can enter the competition to win an £800 voucher. Or you can do it through the link in the video description. Big shout out to Boohoo Man. You could be a winner tonight, like Liverpool. I'm not going to apologise for predicting Liverpool are going to win this game. I never normally do. Remember when Ollie was losing all the time and I was like, yeah, we'll beat Watford. Yeah, we'll beat Leicester. I fancy us to get something against Liverpool at home. I've been positive and looked an idiot. Tonight, I'd rather be negative and look an idiot, because if Man United win, I win. But I can't see it tonight. The best we can get is a draw. I looked at this game at Christmas, I looked at it in February, I looked at it last week, and I looked at it today, and at no point did I think we were going to get anything. So I'm not about to change my mind now. Hello, Mark. I had physics exam today, and one of the questions was, how does wireless charging work? Remembering about your Manscaped promo saved me. Yes. Is it electromagnetic induction or something like that? Even I should know that, Sabir. There you go. Education Bridge. We're playing 4-3-2-1. Maguire will be playing for Liverpool. Just wait and watch, says Nabil. I mean, that is a very good point. When we're talking about this game tonight, one of the things that you do have to take into account is, I think back to teams like Stoke, Bolton under Sam Allardyce. Bolton! I think back to Bolton. Further back than that, I think back to Wimbledon, the Crazy Gang. There's 3 teams there that were shay. They were not very good. Wimbledon, Bolton, Stoke, they weren't really very good teams. They weren't renowned for playing good football anyway. There were some good players in there. You Kevin Nolans, you were Kochers. Stoke had 1 or 2 at times, didn't they? Have the big throw-in man, Rory Delap. Wimbledon, Vinnie Jones and John Fashanu. And I mean, yeah, they weren't renowned for their good football. But they could get results against the Manchester Uniteds, against the Liverpools, against the Arsenals. Bolton used to do it all the time against Wenger's Arsenal. How do they do that? They do it through camaraderie, unity, and effort. We need a Wimbledon, a Stoke, or a Bolton performance tonight. And people who say that's embarrassing, look at the starting lineup. We ain't coming here to play football. We're coming here to frustrate. Man United are going to Anfield. I don't think Liverpool have ever been to Old Trafford with a team as defensively shit as that. It's an embarrassment of where we are, and the players need to take responsibility for it. If you're looking for anyone to blame tonight, blame those players that we've got to put a team out like that. Because ultimately, we have got a team that could play a back four. We have got players that could play differently to that, but they're just not good enough. We've not been forced to play a back five. We could have played a back four. Easily could have played a back four. It's not just injury that's forced us into this. It's cowardice. It's the fact that we're not good enough. But if you're going to do this and you want to do a Wimbledon or a Stoke or a Bolton, the one thing we're missing that we need is leadership, strong mentality and effort and coordination. So for me, the reason we're on a hiding to nothing tonight is, one, we can't go toe-to-toe to Liverpool anyway. We can't play attacking football against them. We're just incapable of that. But if we want to park the bus, they're stronger than us anyway. They've got a stronger mentality than us. So even though we're the underdog, we don't have the underdog mentality. We've seen these players walk out at Old Trafford against Liverpool with white flags, with Man City home and away with white flags. And I fear we're going to see it again tonight. Do you reckon Sancho will benefit the most from playing under Ten Hag? Feel like he's perfect for his tactics. What do you think, says Harris? Big Mark, loving the classic OG attire. I'm not blaming Phil Jones today. Maguire is the lead centre-back. It's on him, says Amit. Last week it was Lingard. Today it's Jones. Is Ralph playing them to put them in the transfer market, says Red. And how the tables have turned. Liverpool were in a similar position last season when they came to Old Trafford, but they still smashed us 4-2 with a weakened defence, ended up making top four and haven't looked back, says Malavia. I just don't see a way for Manchester United to do. I think we'll have I think Liverpool will have more than 60% possession. I think they'll have double-figure shots and we'll have less than 5. Prediction, Bridge. More than 65% possession for Liverpool over 90 minutes. Double shots on target. We won't have 5. I'd put good things out for that. Souness blaming Pogba for Maguire's mistakes, says Hub G. Yeah, but that's typical of Souness, dickhead. And United are missing 1 or 2 players. You'd be fearful. And if Liverpool are really at it, then it's going to be a long night for United. That's coming in from Roy Keane. Somebody just said something about a Maguire quote. The worry is what happens when the first goal goes in, but football, you never know. I think Roy Keane's spot on, and I've said it already, and you've said it already. The problem with the way that we're set up is that we are completely in trouble. We are completely in trouble based on if we don't. Sorry, I've just got a quote here from Harry Maguire. I wouldn't be playing every game for Man United in the starting 11 if I'd been playing bad every game. There's a reason why both managers have put me in the starting 11 every game. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Take a breath. I'm going to put a tweet out and then I'm going to answer it because I just need to take some thoughts here. He's right in a way. He's right in a way. I wouldn't be playing every game for United in the starting 11 if I'd been playing bad every game. There's a reason why both managers have put me in the starting 11 every game. Yeah. I can think of... in fact, I'm just about to bury it on Twitter and they'll tell you. Ah, right. Okay. Wow. That's nothing, mate. They want to see what's coming in a couple of weeks. EJ Bridge, there's 80 million reasons. Right. So, yeah, in relation to Harry Maguire there, let me just answer you this. I wouldn't be playing every game for United in the starting 11 if I'd been playing badly every game. There's a reason why both managers have put me in the starting 11 every game. There is a reason. There is a reason. There's 80 million reasons. Mic drop. Bang. I'm off. You're in the fucking team because we spent 80 million pounds on you, mate. You've been shit this season. You're the worst captain we've ever had. You're captaining the worst Manchester United side the Premier League has ever seen. You get picked every week. Because if you don't get picked, the club look like a bigger bunch of prats than they already are. You cost 80 million pounds, mate. That's why you get picked. They're desperate for you to find some bloody value. Because if they drop you and they don't pick you, they may as well get 80 million pounds and burn it on a bonfire. They are desperately trying to give you every chance they can because you cost £80 million. That's why you get picked every week. Can we just invest in a mirror for Harry Maguire? Because he genuinely believes he's a good player. And that's scary. You're not good this season, mate. You've been absolutely shit. Your only hope is you realise that and work harder. But the fact that he thinks he's been good is the scariest thing, because he's not even reflecting to try and be better. He thinks he's good. He's getting picked because we spent £80 million on you. If I was in charge of a club and there was an £80 million centre-back, I'm not going to say, let's drop him and never pick him again, because I've just said goodbye to £80 million. I'm actually going to try everything I can. Everything I can. I'm going to get Harry Potter's wand. I'm going to try everything. That's why you're getting picked, because they've got to try and get some value out of you. And that's why we are where we are this season, because they've been trying all season to try and get something out of you, and we're just getting bloody worse. There must be a reason he's played so much under both managers. Also, what do you think the lineup will be for the Arsenal games, is Harry? Well, I think Sancho's probably being kept back for that game, to be fair. If this is Maguire playing well, I can't even imagine what him playing like bad is like as now. Well, let's hope he has a good game tonight. He talks one. Hi, Mark. My dad's foot got ran over. He's in hospital, says Ryan McCann. I'm sure this has happened before, Ryan, but, if he has been run over by a car and his foot's bad, then he'd probably do a better job than our centre-backs tonight. But no, he probably is in pain. It's very, very painful when you hurt your feet. I play a bit of living room football when I get a chance, and I've stubbed my foot a few times. So my thoughts are with him, Ryan. I hope he's doing all right. I don't believe that our players think they're an underdog. I think they feel like they're on par with Liverpool, which is dangerous because they're actually shit, says Nick P. Nick, I cannot and do not want to go into the mind. There's plenty of minds I'd like to go into. We'll never be able to do it. I'm going to give you a bit of a spoiler. It's not a big spoiler, but the new Batman film, he wears these contact lenses. I reckon this will come true if it's not come true already. So he puts these contact lenses in, and then at the end of the night, he takes them out, plugs them in, and his whole night he can watch back through like these contact lenses are like cameras. They're amazing. And people will be saying spoiler now. It's not a spoiler because it doesn't tell you anything other than he was wearing contact lenses that were a camera. And I think similarly to that, I think sometimes, I'd love to imagine if you could put like a chip in somebody's head. I don't mean like from McDonald's, and you can know what they're thinking. Like you put this headset on, and Gary Neville's on my telly now, and I can know what he's thinking when he's talking away. Sunshine, Gary Neville. That's probably what he says. You're the best around. You're better than Phil and everyone. You're the best. That's probably what he's got in his head. But it'd be great to see what people have got going in their head. Some really, some of them are dead now, but imagine if you could go in like Gandhi's head or Winston Churchill's head, or, so people who've got done amazing things and just know what they were thinking. I would not like to go into any Man United player's head. If you go in Harry Maguire's head, it's probably just birds tweeting around. No, I'm joking. But that's probably the same for everybody. But imagine if you could go in a United player's head and they actually do think they're really good and they've just been unlucky this season. Ryan, thank you and welcome to the Members Club. Mark, I'm a Liverpool fan hiding my United shirt with a jacket, sipping on my beer. No, he's in a Liverpool bar hiding his Man United shirt, sipping on a beer. Wish me luck, says God Elf. I actually think some of the worst thing has happened. I actually think Liverpool fans don't see us as a threat. I think they're quite sympathetic. All the Liverpool fans I've spoken to, I know Craig, the Red Men TV guys, they've not been bantering. They were like, do you fancy doing a bit of a preview? I know you probably don't. There's no banter. There's no rivalry. There's not even a lot on. The game's not even got what it should have. It's not even, if you think about it, I know it's a midweek game, but there's no one else playing tonight. There's no Champions League games. Liverpool against Man United is normally a massive game. It actually doesn't have that feel to it. Liverpool fans think it's going to be a routine 3 points. We think it's going to be a routine loss. That's how far we've fallen. That Liverpool against Man United just doesn't even have the feeling that it should. It makes you realise there's genuinely no hope for Maguire if he can't self-reflect, says Joshua Bowwater. Prediction, Mark, we lose 5-0 or 12-0, says Jay. Mark, well, look, we've got a little bit of a league table going on with all the United Stand crew, and nobody went for a United win. The average. Oh, did you went with this? Oh no, draw. You went with a 7-0 United win. If that happens, you should have put a tenner on it because you probably would be a millionaire. I think apart from draw, you just go 7-0 every game, which is getting even more ridiculous by the season. You know, at one time that might not have been a bad idea. It was might happen, but not now. Apart from that, the best result I think was Beth predicted a draw. Everyone else was averaging 3, 4, 5-0. Was going to have a beer and watch this, having listened to that shite from Maguire. I think I'll open a bottle of whiskey, says David. And hi, Mark. I think you're too harsh on Maguire, and we as United fans should stand all behind him, no matter how bad he plays, says Hugh. Thanks, Hugh. So it's always good that somebody wants to do it. I think he's... I just don't think he gets it, to be honest. I don't think he gets what being a Man United player is. The stuff I find out off social media as well, I just think he's shit, to be honest. I'd love him to turn it around. I'd love him to screw his head on and actually surround himself with people who get it. But I just don't think he's ever going to get it. But I hope you're wrong. Lovely content, says Ryan McCann. Thank you very much for the super chats. Please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. To be honest with you, you know, if we could be 0-0 with half an hour gone, we get a corner. He's capable of winning a header. You go 1-0 up. Liverpool start to panic. But we've got to try and we've got to try and find a way. Look, I've had enough of Bruno at the moment. He's one of my favourite players. I've had enough of him. He gets on my nerves. Bruno reminds me of the guy who's shouting at the dog who's already shit on his garden. It's like, what are you moaning about? He can't understand you, and it's done. Just pick it up and get on with it. Like, but he just moan about anything. You know, Rashford's one of my favourite players. He doesn't look like he cares. Maguire, I mean, I gave him a chance. I just think he's the worst captain we've had. I don't think he's a very good player. But what people seem to forget is that all these things are based on evidence. It's not like when you wake up in the morning and you decide to just slag these players off. It's based on lots and lots of evidence. Look at how I am with managers. Like, I was late on Solskjaer out. I was late on Mourinho out. And the reason I'm late is it's nothing more sinister than the fact that I want to make sure I'm right. It's just arrogance, I suppose. Some of you I actually respect because you will jump and go, Mourinho's never going to be the right guy. 6 months before he gets the sack. Some people were saying it a year before he got the sack. Same with Ollie. And I'm like, I don't want to start saying that because if it goes wrong, I look a right idiot. I want to make sure I'm right. So when I say I think a player's crap and they're the worst this and they're the worst that, it's because I'm sure they are. But there's not one part of me that doesn't want them to prove me wrong. Because if they prove me wrong, how do I lose? Oh, no. Harry Maguire scored the winner in the game against Anfield. Oh, I look a right idiot now. I'm not. I've got my pants around my head. No, not my pants. My T-shirt around my head. I'm wearing 2 pair of pants. Don't worry. I've got my T-shirt around my head. I'm celebrating. So, look, there's nothing more than I want than these players to actually deliver. I don't think there is any United fan out there that's really like, I want to be proved wrong. I want them to be shit all the time. I mean, I know 1 or 2 United fans who are like that. They just love being proved right. But I'd love to be proved wrong. Absolutely love it. Because if they prove us wrong, we win. Feels like we're hoping for another smash and grab like against Chelsea. We've fallen so set. Harvey, there's only one way we can win this game. On a serious note, there's only one way we win this game. Liverpool will have most of the ball. They're going to have most of the shots. We're going to have to keep a clean sheet and nick a goal. The only way we get a result tonight is keep a clean sheet, whether we want a draw or not. I can't see us getting a 1-1. I can't see it being a 2-2. I think it's got to be a 0-0 or a 0-1 to us. We've got to keep a clean sheet. I don't think Maguire can turn this around too much to stakes. Still, he doesn't realise he's a lost cause, says Jay. Feels like we've done that. People need to understand the position United is right now. We don't defend, therefore we need a back 5, says Jonathan. And I've got a feeling we will get something tonight after everything with Ronaldo and Bruno's crash. I think Rashford will turn up, says Jack Brown. The right way to win this game, whether it's a back 5 or a back 4 or whatever we do, the right way to win this game is to hit long balls. I know it's boring, but it's the right way. You've got Rashford had to start tonight. Alanga had to start tonight. You've got to try and do that. You really have. But going back to our centre-backs and why I would have picked Eric Bailly, the reason Phil Jones, Victor Lindelof and Harry Maguire will never be good enough to win a major trophy at Manchester United, and I'm talking about all 3 of our centre-backs here, is they're not modern centre-backs. None of them are quick enough. None of them read the game well enough, and none of them are actually that good on the ball. You know, we can all do little clips of hitting a 40-yard pass when we're under no pressure. But what about dribbling through 2 or 3 players? Or what about playing a 1-2? Our centre-backs just aren't top 4 centre-backs. And they're never going to be, because Harry Maguire's never going to suddenly be quick or agile. Phil Jones ain't suddenly going to be quick and agile. Victor Lindelof's not going to suddenly be quick and agile. You look at Liverpool today, whether it's Konate, Joe Gomez, Van Dijk or Matip, Klopp has got 4 modern centre-backs. They're all quick, they're all agile, they're all decent on the ball. Yes, Van Dijk's better than all of them, but they're all the same. Man United centre-backs are all the same, apart from Varane and Bailly. And Bailly never gets a look in. So if Varane's out, we always struggle because we've got very... Is Phil Jones any better than Michael Keane at Everton? No. Is Victor Lindelof better than Michael Keane at Everton? I'd probably say he is. He's a different type of centre-back. Is Harry Maguire better than Michael Keane at Everton? I think he's better in the air. We haven't got the quality of centre-back. Liverpool could go down a man, and I would still think they'll play us off the parks as Nicholas Ryan. I tell you what, Nicholas, I'd like that experiment. If a Liverpool player wants to get sent off in the first minute to see if they can still beat us, let's try it. The only thing you would hear in Maguire's head is the voice saying, "I'm Harry Beckenbauer." He's outed himself as an egotist with that statement, says Jack. And I disagree with you on Lindelof. He's not world-class by any means, but he's very good on the ball. He's average speed and weaker, but good on the ball, says Noah. Yeah, I think Lindelof is probably... I think our best centre-back pairing is Lindelof and Varane, to be honest. Only who can give hope in this game is Rashford. That says it all, says Jay. You know what? If we win this game, it's party time, right? But if we do win this game, there's no future in it. You know what I mean? That just sort of... I think the way to look at this game is we're literally just trying to scam it. Because even if we did win it, there's nothing transferable about tonight for Arsenal. It's not like if we beat Liverpool tonight, we're going like, we're back. This is the journey. We're back. If we did beat Liverpool tonight, and we're not going to, but if we did beat Liverpool tonight, how are we going to do it in a way that makes us go, oh, this is the start of the future? It's completely and utterly a scam job. We are trying to do something as a complete one-off in a way that we never normally would do it. It's part of the bus and nick a goal, isn't it? And if we do that, we can't take that performance into Arsenal apart from it's a win with a bit of confidence. So that's what we're trying to do. It's a completely weird concept of what we're trying to do. There's aspects of it that I do agree with, but I still would have picked out. I would have took it. I would have played Eric Bailly. Mark, do you think I can become a professional footballer? Says Ryan McCann. Don't know anything about you. Don't know your age. Don't know how good you are. But yeah, sure you can. Only who can get. So I've done that one as well. Make sure you smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner, we've got some quotes coming in from Ralph Rangnick as we speak. But don't forget as well, I'm wearing a very nice top today. It's not Manchester United top. It's a Boohoo Man Active range top. You can get yours by clicking the link in the description, going to the Boohoo Man website. It's got a nice little badge there. Use the code Goldbridge and get 40% off. So you can get one of these with 40% off with the code Goldbridge. In addition to that, you will see a QR code on the screen now or in the future. You can hold your phone up to it with your camera, scan it. It will take you to a website where you can enter your details and be in with a chance to win an £800 voucher. Couple of clicks and you're in the competition to win an £800 voucher. How many of you will actually try it? You know, maybe 2, maybe 200. Who knows? You can be in the chance of winning an £800 voucher. We'll be announcing the winner on the Tuesday night show at 8 o'clock. £800 voucher with Boohoo Man. Thank you very much for sponsoring the show. And you can do it through the link in the video description as well. Let's have a quick look at Maguire. I wouldn't have done that from Maguire. Gary Neville says, I've not seen a group of Man United players as lacking an appetite to want to play football for the club at any particular moment ever, to be honest. Spot on. Absolutely spot on. They are the worst team we've ever had in Premier League history. They are the biggest bunch of bullshitters we've ever had in Premier League history. They are the biggest deluded set of players we've had in Premier League history. And yet, here they are with a game that if they got a result out of it, we'd almost forget the season that we've had. If they could It's like the ultimate get out of jail card. It's a terrible United side with players that don't deserve to be here anymore. But if they get a result tonight and stop Liverpool winning the Premier League, which should be their biggest motivation, by the way. I mean, if I or you were playing in this game for United tonight, we'd be in the dressing room right now going mad saying, we can stop Liverpool winning the Premier League. If we stop them winning the Premier League, they can't do a treble. They can't do a quadruple. We can be the people to burst their bubble. And over the years, Liverpool love doing this to us, and we should love doing it to them. I just don't feel, and hopefully it's the famous last words, I don't feel these players even understand this football club enough to realise what an opportunity they've got tonight. When the only excitement is that Jones is part of a back six, it's time for the cricket season, says David Gardner. And my respect for you is huge. I couldn't film myself watching Liverpool smash us, says Reddy. Well, it's only because I'm either stupid or brave, or stubborn. I can't swerve it. Just saw an interview with Maguire on Swedish TV. It's like listening to a well-programmed robot, says Eric. What else have we got? When Lindelof and Varane were partners in January, they had to make more saves than any other keeper and won the Premier League of the month, says Trevor Jones. What are you trying to say, Trevor? Are you telling me Maguire? You're trying to tell me Maguire's the best centre-back in the world without telling me Maguire's the best centre-back in the world? Maguire's going to silence his haters today, says Tia MRM. I hope you're right. Ranić says we were training like that with a three-man central defence yesterday. Obviously, we had some video footage and video talks about that, and it worked well yesterday in training. So hopefully we can see that on the pitch today. Whoopie-doo! Whoopie-doo! We've tried it for one day, and it worked quite well. The great thing about it yesterday is that Cavani was injured. Ronaldo wasn't there. So who were the strikers you were trying it against? Bags of cement. Oh, my God. We've tried a back five system in training and it went really well. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that they weren't doing it against anybody decent. Martial's not at the club. Ronaldo wasn't there. Cavani's injured. So who were the strikers the back five were doing it against? Mike Phelan and Darren Fletcher? Or did he just use bags of cement? I mean, for fuck's sake. I'm sorry, Ralph. It doesn't fill me with confidence. We did it yesterday and it worked really well. But you're playing against Salah, Mane and Diaz. Who were they playing against yesterday? Liverpool will win tonight, but City will win the Premier League, says the Stone Roses. Rashford needs to be clinical. Watch out for offside. Bruno, keep it simple and reduce the moaning. You know what, Christopher? To be honest with you, I actually think tonight is one of those nights where I saw Smash One Out and Toilet Break there from Geordie on the screen. We're not that sort of show. I was just glanced very quickly. I do think that tonight Bruno doesn't need to hang about on the ball. I completely agree, and I've been very moaning about it myself that Bruno on the ball doesn't take enough care with it. But tonight he actually does need to get it and hit the long ball as much as possible. Because if Bruno gets it in a certain position and hits a long ball to Rashford, Van Dijk will get it or Matip will get it. He's got it. But the more times he does it, the more chance Rashford might get it. There might be a slip or something like that. So actually, we need Pogba and Bruno to hit lots and lots of long balls if we can get the ball to them. Ralph Rangnick has only lost twice in 13 times he's matched up against Jurgen Klopp. Well, it's going to be 3 times, isn't it? I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong, but I don't think we can. I don't think we can look beyond that. I think it's absolutely inevitable that we are going to lose this game. I really hope I'm wrong, but yeah, it would be stunning, absolutely stunning if these lads can get us a performance tonight. But they owe us one. They do owe us one. Remember, Harry Maguire said they're not doing it to stop Liverpool. They're doing it for the fans tonight. So if they get beat 5-0, they've done it for you. I genuinely think, by the way, talking about score predictions, at least 3. I told you I should get a clap on the back here. Ranić on Scott McTominay. He's got a bravery award. He'll only come on in case of emergency because he hasn't trained with us. He didn't train yesterday, but he told me he'd be ready for 10 or 15 minutes at the end if necessary. What's the fucking point? I mean, again, it's this sort of bullshit. I spoke about this about Nathan Ake last week when he started fighting with the Atletico Madrid players. And I'm like, they're doing it to win the fans over because they're not actually that good, but they're showing a bit of passion. And McTominay putting himself on the bench when he's not trained. Oh, I'll give you 10 minutes if needed. We're not going to bloody war. You're not getting a bravery award. We're playing bloody Liverpool at Anfield. Like, if you're fit, you're fit. If you're not fit, don't put yourself on the bench. What if he comes on for 10 minutes and then he's out for the rest of the season? It's this sort of fuzzy, thick thinking. As a manager, why are you letting somebody be on the bench for 10 minutes? You'd be much better with somebody from the youth who's actually fit. Like, we don't need an injured player on the bench for 10 minutes. It's just, I don't get that. On Phil Jones, he said he could be an important part of our back line. He played well in that position against Wolves, 3 months ago. I decided between him and Eric Bailly, and that's why I went for him. So gone for Bailly, Jones over Bailly. If once again showed there are more important things in football life than football, the whole team, the whole club is with him. For me, it was clear he had to be where he is now with his family. That's Rangnick on Cristiano Ronaldo, which is 100% the right decision. One of the things I actually quite like about the last sort of 45 minutes we've been talking is that nobody has mentioned Cristiano Ronaldo in a footballing sense, which is completely the correct thing to do. As we said last night, it's really horrific and devastating news for him and his family. And the fact that so many of us, and not just United fans, are, devastated by it, even though it's not happened to us, is because you can relate to that sort of a loss. And it's a horrible, horrible thing for Cristiano. So, 100% Ralph Rangnick is right. Even if he wanted to play, I think the club would say don't. It's an emotional time and you've got to be with those that you love. And and nobody's mentioned Ronaldo. We've not heard anything about Ronaldo in the chat about anything. And I mean, look, the only thing I would say is, as we bring it back to football, is that the same against Man City. Ronaldo didn't play against Man City, did he? And if he had played against Man City, it wouldn't have made a bloody difference at all, would it? So there is talk about the 7th minute that they're all going to clap at Anfield. That would be a lovely gesture if it's true. We'll wait and see if it happens. But you're always going to miss a player of the quality of Cristiano Ronaldo. But actually, in a game like this against Liverpool, we will miss him because he's a massive part of what we are as a club. But in another way, we probably won't create many chances for our striker anyway. So, but it's a shame. It's obviously a horrible situation. Why are we glossing over the fact that we're playing a guy in the defence who's played one game all season against the best team in the world? Well, yeah, I did say that. You've got Ralph Rangnick saying that we practiced this back five yesterday in training and it worked really well, but there was no strikers playing against them because Ronaldo wasn't there, Cavani wasn't there, Martial's not there. So who were the strikers playing against them? Rashford and Elanga. Well, Rashford's not been playing well all season, so it's probably quite easy to play against him. And Elanga's just a kid. And he's also come out and said, well, I had to choose between Eric Bailly and Jones, and I've gone with Jones because he played well against Wolves, which I think was in early January. We're now in mid-April. So, yeah, my score prediction, Tim, is that we will lose by at least 3 goals. I don't think it's about whether we'll lose. It's about how many goals we'll lose by. What I'm scared about in relation to losing is how early Liverpool score. Because if they score early, they won't. You remember at Old Trafford, what was the score at half-time at Old Trafford? Has Ten Hag picked a poison chalice with Manchester United, says 58 go, and Harry Maguire makes Jake Paul look smart, says Reddy HD. Was it 5-0 at half-time against Liverpool? So it's 4-0 at half-time, and then they scored early in the second half, according to Drawty. So, and they down tools. Well, they didn't down tools. They took pity on us. They made a few subs. They're not going to do that tonight. They're not going to do that tonight because what if they end up in a situation with Man City where they're on the same amount of points? Every goal they can get, they will score. And it's at Anfield. And the Anfield crowd will not let them let up. So if we concede early, if we're 4-0 down at half-time, they're not going to score the 5th at the start of the second half and go, let's let them off. They're going to go again and again and again. And I don't think it will. I'm not predicting that. But we could get absolutely humiliated again. And the club would have to announce Erik ten Hag tomorrow. But we're not really. We know we've got a new manager next season. We know we've got a new start. But what we haven't got is new players. And these players are playing. For me, some of these players don't have a future. And I'll never be able to give them a future because I'll never trust them again. But in many people's eyes, these players are playing for the future. And they need to deliver tonight. Mark, I like your brutally honest opinions, says Mark Levinson. We're never going to improve if we're not brutally honest because we're brutal as a football team. So, you can't just sit there and say back the players. they've destroyed us this season. They're the worst Manchester United side I've ever watched, and they're an embarrassment. So you can only keep trying to put the pressure on and hope that they're going to respond to that, because everything else has been tried. It's about to be a long night, Mark. Winter has come. Hopefully the team can show some pride and passion for the shirt, says Vignesh. And welcome to the members club, Aston Walker. Thank you very much for being a member. Thank you very, very, very much. Please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Get involved with the United Stands. You're very welcome. We're live every night at 8 o'clock, live every morning at 10 o'clock. Got lots and lots of shows for you to get involved in. Please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. We're only 300 away from 307,000. So bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. I have to do a poll. Apologies. I have to do a result poll. We're 10 minutes away from the start of the game. Results. Liverpool win. Draw. I feel this is the biggest waste of time ever. United win. Get your votes in. We'll see how we are for that in a moment or two. In relation to the league table, it's there. This is our game in hand on West Ham. So we're going to be 2 points ahead of West Ham. Tellez has assisted directly from corners. Who's going to provide that quality if he's not playing, says Mustafa Ali. Welcome to the Members Club, MA. Again, look, I would have picked Eric Bailly to give us something different at the back, because I think Lindelof, Maguire and Jones are all quite similar. And I would have put Tellez because he actually can get forward and put a cross in. But I think the reason they haven't put Tellez in is because they're scared of Salah off the right-hand side. But I don't know that Delo against Salah's any better. How many goals Maguire will be involved in it for Liverpool, says Nabil. I'm scared, Mark, says ... And welcome to the Members Club, Dylan. Also, we had a super chat there from somebody that I can't now see. It's from Tomo, who's a member. He says, Mark, for me, one of the most important things is the armband. If he doesn't prove to be our captain tonight, then it will never happen, and he's done. I think it's done. I think it's done already, man. I think he's already done. Nicholas, welcome to the Members Club. They're chanting Viva Ronaldo at Anfield, says William. Yeah, well, football unites us all, doesn't it? And I think it's a nice thing to see that we've got that level of support for someone like Cristiano, which is great to see. I've got a bad feeling about this, says John, and it's probably just something to do with thingy. Barry Fitzgerald, welcome to the Members Club. United win tonight. I've got a funny feeling, says user 234, and 21% have got road tinted glasses. Yeah, we've got 21% people. That's what I'm trying to look at here. We've got 21% of people who are saying that Manchester United are going to win. Can I have a pint of what you're having, please? Can I have 10 pints of what you're having? I really want some of this positivity juice. It sounds beautiful. Please do share the video if you're watching. By the way, we've got 32,000 people watching, which is fantastic. You're all very welcome on the show as ever. Please do subscribe and get involved. Don't forget the QR code on the screen. You could win an £800 voucher with Boohoo Man. I'm wearing a Boohoo Man active top right now. Some fantastic clothing you can get. You could have £800 to spend there. All you've got to do is click the link in the description to enter, or scan your QR code through your camera phone to enter. We'll be announcing the winner on Tuesday night. Thanks, everyone who's tuning in. What's going on here? Get rid of that. Oh, yeah. I've seen. So, we're playing a back five because they have a front four of Salah, Mane, Diaz, and Maguire, says Edgar. But it's not a back five then. It's 4 against 4. But we all also as well. Phil James may not be the most gifted player tonight, but we will see a man playing a jersey that means something, says Muzzy Lions. Adam Locke, welcome to the Members Club. The thing about Phil Jones, and we've not spoken about Phil Jones, and I've sort of done it on purpose that I haven't mentioned Phil Jones, is because I do think that I almost wanted Wolves to be Phil Jones's last game, because his career has been very up and down at at Manchester United. And I felt that that Wolves game was a man of the match performance that sort of left things in a nice way. And in a typical Phil Jones fashion, it's probably going to be his last game in a game like this, where we're going to get humiliated. And he will show effort. But what might happen tonight is, unfortunately, is that we might well see that Phil Jones, Scott McTominay, Fred, this obsession with effort gets exposed by what you get when you have players who give effort as standard, but are also brilliant players. Liverpool players put effort in. We can't be championing Phil Jones going, oh, Phil Jones puts effort in, because every Liverpool player puts the same effort in, but they're also good footballers as well. Jordan Henderson has got his back turned to Manchester United here. He is focused. He is driven. He is not interested. Harry Maguire is stood next to him like a little boy who wants to be noticed on the bus. Like, Henderson's just completely snubbing him. He's got his back to him. He ain't looking at him. And Maguire, you can tell him what he wants. Jordan, you stuck up for me the other day for England. Why aren't you talking to me? I'll do a bit of jumping. Jordan, I'm here. And he's not interested, not talking to him at all. We'll be lucky to pull off a draw, says Ghostface draw. And that's the thing that worries me about Liverpool, is that we're talking about efforts. They're focused. They're trying to win 4 trophies. They don't give a shit about us and effort. It's weird because my family support Liverpool except me, says Aston Walker. This game is going to be boring, says Uncle Drew. I don't think it'll be boring. Serious note, by looking at this, Glazers won. They are the ones who allowed player power, and fans are equally responsible to let this happen, says Nabil. Well, the players are coming out onto the pitch. I mean, look, you know, we've not mentioned a few of these players. I mean, Paul Pogba starts. He was subbed off after an hour the other night. He was booed by his own fans, and he's starting this game. Like, I'm not saying that's the wrong thing. I like Paul Pogba. But, you know, it just shows you that there is an issue at Manchester United. There's been an issue at Manchester United for a very long time. And I don't like... I think it's very hard to predict the future, but I think we might be about to watch something here that's just very, very difficult. You know, very, very difficult to stomach. But we'll see. We'll see. 3 minutes till the start of the match. QR code's on the screen. £800 voucher. Boohoo Man. Click it in the video description to enter. It will take you a few seconds, or you can scan your camera phone and enter that way. An £800 voucher is up for grabs. Thank you to Boohoo Man. I'm wearing some of their active range tonight. I may well be a Boohoo Man. I might be crying myself. But to be honest with you, I don't... It's a weird one, isn't it? The only emotion that will surprise me is happiness tonight. Like, that would be... It's not a trophy. I'm not going that low. But what I'm saying is, if we won this game tonight, or even got a draw, it would be huge. So I'm expecting to lose. It's not going to be a shock if we lose. It's not even going to be a shock. As I said, 65% possession for Liverpool. I predict they'll have that or more. They'll have double shots on target. De Gea will be man of the match, and we won't even have 5 shots on target. Is my prediction. We'll see how it goes. Make sure you smash a like on the video and subscribe. Bottom right hand corner. Just want to clear my nose. Let's see how it goes. Martin Atkinson's the referee. Don't think it will matter. I really don't think that's going to have any impact on the game. Welcome to the Members Club, Adam Locke. Thank you for joining. Remember, if you are a member, you can click the join button. We have got exclusive video content coming out for you each week now. You can check that out through that. This game is very reminiscent of when Chelsea stopped Tottenham at Stamford Bridge to allow Leicester to win the Premier League, says Jonathan Mitchell. I don't think anything is reminiscent of anything. It is what it is. We'll have to just wait and see if United can put a performance in. I personally don't think we're capable of doing it. I mean, even if this was at Old Trafford, I don't think we could do it. One thing we haven't really mentioned is the Anfield crowd. Like, it's at Anfield. Anfield's always hard. I remember going there with Beckham and Keane and Scholes. It was hard. We're going there with Jones, Maguire and Lindelof. So it's going to be very hard. Maguire looks like a deer in the headlights, says Jack Brown. I mean, to be fairness to Maguire, though, what does he know? What can he say to these players? I scored a goal here, and from a header for Leicester, I wasn't the captain, and we drew. I've been relegated a few times. I mean, he's got no experience, has he? Had the club's standard fallen so far that Jones has become from a joke of a player to be given a chance, says Stephen? Well, I think you make a good point. I mean, Phil Jones was a bit of a joke, and now he's a player where people are going, well, he's not a bad selection. Just shows you, it does show you how the standards have dropped, because Phil Jones would be a player that no one would want anywhere near this team. And actually, with myself included, have said, yeah, I would pick Jones tonight. So anyway, we're about to start the match. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Please share the video. And Bruno's about to start it. And we're off. Here we go. Can we stop, bloke? Stop it. Stop it. 90 minutes. Stop it now. Quick, stop it. Can we stop the game? We've played 90 seconds. We'll play 9 seconds and call it a draw, yeah? So, anyway, we're up and running here. You never know. We might play some of the best football we've ever played. I'd love it. I'd love the game to stop now. It's a point. We've all agreed it's a point. So, we're definitely playing a back 5. Lindelof is sort of pushing forward a little bit. Rashford and Elanga as a front 2. And Liverpool... I suppose that Liverpool have just got to get used to what we're doing, first of all. But they will do. Rashford playing through the middle. Bruno's trying to push up as well. I'll tell you what, I hope we don't play a back 5 for the rest of the season. I actually hate the back 5. I've got to say. I don't know whether people might have picked that up before, but I really don't like the back 5 system. But look, from Liverpool's point of view, we don't know how it's going to go. We've only had a minute, but Liverpool, some people will say, oh, it's going to be 3 or 4-0. From Liverpool's point of view, I mean, I can see Mane wearing the number 10. They can probably, as long as they score a goal at some point, they can win 1-0. It's not like we're going to have loads and loads of chances. I mean, what's that ball by Paul Pogba there? It's just giving possession away. It's lazy. It's lazy possession, mate. We've done 90 seconds. Yes. We've done 2 minutes nearly, Reese. Count them down. Only 88 minutes to go. It's on Sky, yeah. Main event. Gadsy says, do you think we can get a draw at least, Mark? Do you want me to lie? Do you want the truth, or do you want to lie? We can definitely get a point at Anfield. I see. I should be on Hollyoaks. Even EastEnders. While it stays 0-0, we can definitely get a draw. I mean, I'd like to say Liverpool might choke under the pressure, but they're not going. I mean, look at Henderson there. Look at the tenacity of Henderson there. Rashford, just smack it long and hit it. See, Van Dijk just comes across and says, "Get out of my way, little boy. I'll have that." Allison's just skinned Bruno. They get the ball off us so easily, says Catherine. Nervous in my car in Euston, says Beryl. What are you doing in your car, Beryl? All I can think about is Beryl in the car in Euston now. Where are you, Beryl? What are you doing in your car? You driving home? Or do you watch matches in your car? We've had a bit of the ball in the first few minutes. It's a nice little ball over the top. Delo is not going to get that. No way. He's gone for a goal kick. That's one thing I would like us to do as well, is try and win as many corners as we can. That would help. Dreams can come true. It's still 0-0. at that Liverpool. Lovely play here. They're in down the right-hand side. Where's the fucking defence here from Manchester United? Oh, fuck off! You useless bag of statue twats! You're having a bloody joke. 4 minutes and the back five's fucking fell apart. Pigeons! 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 Pigeon shit everywhere on the statues. De Gea's having an argument because he's angry. But that is a back five. A back five. A back five cut apart in the first 4 minutes. Piss them off, you pigeon prats. Statues. Look at this for a back five. Look at him. Look at him. Maguire. Oh, look, I'm out of position. Fucking down the left-hand side. You divvy shithead. What a bunch of prats. Joe, what did I say? What did I say? Why have you picked 3 garden gnomes? You could have picked Eric Bailly, who's quick. Eric Bailly, in one of those positions there, he's quick. They're all going backwards. Maguire's still on the halfway line when the ball hits the back of the net. It's just ridiculous. I tell you what, don't clip me up for being angry and saying something stupid. Clip me up because Eric Bailly should have started this game. They've just scored a goal because we're slow. And that's why Eric Bailly should have started, because that goal never gets scored if you've got a quick centre-back. Absolute joke. I'm furious with that. That is, I tell you what, I said I wasn't going to react surprised if we go 1-0 down. That is disgusting. You know what? Oh, there's a reason I get picked by all the managers. Yeah, 80 million quid's why you get picked, you bag of shit. You're crap, mate. Absolutely crap. The captain of this team in a back five can't keep a clean sheet for 5 minutes and lets them get done for pace. 3 bloody centre-backs. What did I say? I'm a genius. I'm an evil genius. What did I say? What did I say about a back five? The problem with a back five is who's going to track their fullback? What happens? Nobody tracks Trent Alexander-Arnold. Nobody tracks fucking Salah. I don't coach at a high level and I can see how to get at Man United before a ball's been kicked. Never should have played a back five. Never. If you play a back four, your wide player can track Trent. If you play a back five, who's tracking Trent? Fucking idiots. What did we say about an early goal as well? This is a pub team. They're a bloody pub team. That's how good these defenders are. They're pub defenders. They're thick. I'm not saying pub people are thick, but what I'm saying is pub football, you're normally hung over. Your brain's not quite with it. Fucking embarrassment. White flag football again. White flag. Maguire trying to play the offside trap against the quickest front three in the league. Oh, Andrew, don't. I saw it. I saw it. Harry just lets him receive it, turn with it and pass through ball. No pressure at all. He's crap. He's absolutely crap. Blake B. Lingard's coming on. Oh, it's an embarrassment. It's a bloody embarrassment. It's a bloody joke. 5 minutes in and we're making a sub. And you know why? Because it was always going to happen. Because as soon as you concede a goal with a back five, it's game over. Making a sub already. Fucking joke. Absolute joke. Everything we predicted about a back five has happened within 5 minutes. We're too slow in the centre-back position. Who's going to track the full-back? And if we go 1-0 down, the plan's out the window. We've scored a hat-trick ourselves of mistakes within 5 minutes. Jonathan, thanks for the super chat. I have 11 bowling balls and 11 poppadoms, so I can play along at home, says Sean Finity. Viva Ronaldo, everyone's clapping, says Jack. And as long as the Maguire is in the team, we will be mid-table at best, says Varun. You're bloody optimistic with that, mate. This club, these players, I was chill. I was like, yeah, we're definitely going to... I think Pogba's coming off injured, isn't he? Yeah. He's had enough. Pogba off after 5 minutes. He's had enough already. Liverpool had practically our whole half wide open. Could have parked the Titanic in there, says Jay. It's going to be another humiliation not changing the system after 5 minutes. 8 minutes, says Dan Roberts. Pogba's injured. I mean, is he injured? I don't know. Would you want to play? I mean, we should not be surprised. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Jordy just said it as well. That might be the last time we see him in a United shirt. The sad thing about Pogba is I like Pogba, but ultimately we were always running the risk. He's out of contract in the summer. If he gets a little knock, he ain't going to say, I tell you what, I'm going to stay. If that's France, clip it up whatever you want. I don't care, because I truly believe this. If that's a quarter-final of the World Cup for France, he plays. He carries on. But because it's Man United and he's out of contract in the summer, if he plays with that knock and makes it worse, he might not get a move in the summer. He hasn't got the dedication to the shirt that he would have for France because he's run his contract down because the club have handled it badly. It's Virhan says, I think a Stump would do a better job than Maguire. Oh, mate, we're going to see it at half time. Comes down his side, played into his man. He's still not turned when the ball hits the back of the net. Like, he's on the halfway line. I think Diaz turns him. I dread to think. If it's Diaz who turns him and scores the goal, I don't think it is, but if it is. Never have as a player like Maguire infuriated me so much. He's an absolute fridge, says River City. And are these players playing crap intentionally so that United doesn't get top four, says Drub? Don't give them that much credit, mate. They just don't. They're just not interested. We never should have played a back five. We never should have played a back five. Because the reason the back five was never going to work is because I can't see anybody who's marking Trent Alexander-Arnold. You can't really see it down the left-hand side because they're not coming down the left-hand side. But who is marking Trent? He's basically playing like a winger. We did this at Old Trafford. The back five system is flawed if you've not got anybody to track that. I mean, Liverpool, I'll give you a little stat, right? Liverpool's fullbacks have put more crosses into the box than most people in the Premier League. What does that tell you? They get forward. Not just because we're playing a back five. Liverpool's fullbacks get forward. So if we play a back five, Dalot and Wan-Bissaka are going to mark Salah and Mane as their wide players. Who's going to mark Trent and Robertson when they come forward? Because Dalot, well, no one, because we're playing a back five. There's no one else. So Wan-Bissaka and Dalot are just going to get double teamed, which is exactly what happened on the goal. Picking Maguire does more damage than anything to him in this team. There is no coming back from this. He is presented as this season, says Matteo Red Devil. But if Maguire is so bad, why does he play every match? What a joke, says Stephen Rossi. Brighton and Crystal Palace have a better chance of winning against Liverpool, says Am. Well, of course they do. They're better teams. I'm going to have to suck on a strepsily. I'm getting a tickly throat. Which non-Brit will Neville blame? Says Wayne List. And how bad does Maguire have to get before it's considered fraud? Sorry, excuse me. I might need you to come on in a minute. I've got a really tickly throat. Hopefully that'll settle it down. Well, Liverpool are just knocking the ball about now. They've got the goal, and I said this, but 0-0. They've got the ball, so they can just they've got the goal. Sorry, so they don't have to go and beat us 3 or 4-0. They just need the 3 points. If you're a Liverpool fan and you're trying to win the league, I know it's been a long time since United won the league, but if you can remember what it's like when you're in a league title race in April, and some of the younger viewers won't, at this point of the season, you just don't want to slip up. You just want to get the points, and Liverpool will be like that. We just want to get the points. Arne just skips past Phil Jones, gets the shot off. I mean, look, it's not been said as well. In fairness to Phil Jones, he hasn't played since January. You're throwing him into a team he's not played in since January. He's going to be rusty at Anfield against one of the best teams in the world and against one of the best attacks in the world that are absolutely firing. It's a recipe for disaster, isn't it? Free header. Who's marking? Oh, my God. Corner comes in. 3 red shirts unmarked on the back post. Robertson with the cross. Lindelof clears it away. That's better now. Harry Maguire's not wearing the pink boots. He's wearing white boots, and so's Phil Jones. Liverpool might struggle against the system we are playing. They can't possibly have ever played against a mess like this before, says Winter. Well, what did I say? 65% possession plus for Liverpool. Over 10 shots on target. We won't have 5. And De Gea will be man of the match. I agree with you a lot, but these 90 minutes are for us to support the team and enjoy the game. Plus, Ranić knows Klopp very well and we can get something, says Amir. Can I have a pint of that, Amir? Pint of that positivity. I don't know what makes you feel like that, but... Oh, my God. Lindelof, be careful. They're camped on the edge of our box at the moment. We've only had 16 minutes. We've not been in their half once. And Drorty's just told me we're doing better than we were doing at Old Trafford because we were 2-0 down at this point at Old Trafford. Andrea Bryan says, why is Neville defending this back 3 by claiming they had no time to prepare? What's the excuse for the other 30 games this season, says Andrew. Well, it's simple. Gary Neville will blame it on Ralph Rangnick, basically, because Gary's not being listened to by the club and Ralph is. So he'll blame it on Rangnick and say he shouldn't have played a back 5. We are Headache FC, says Milan. Corner to Liverpool, cleared away. And is it a coincidence that Leicester without Maguire are now competing at a higher level? Says Matthew Paul. Troy says we look scared. Well, we've got a front 3 of Rashford, Elanga and Lingard. And, you know, I think Liverpool are treating this like a training exercise, to be honest with you. That's going to be a corner. Matic. Why Lingard for Pogba? Why not Sancho, relying on players who are leaving to do a job and to get his results? We're going down here. We look a shambles, says Seb Watson. Got all the fight of a fly's arse, a fly's fart, really. You know, it's just, it's sad to see. Corner to Liverpool. How many corners have they had already? We're a disgrace of a team, says Saham. Volleyed over the top. Thiago's running the show, says Charlie. This reminds me of when you played career mode on Ultimate Difficult, Chasing Shadows, says Joshua Bowwater. And classy show of respect, minute ovation at 7 minutes for Ronaldo. What a better run club they have now, says Connor Dave. Yeah. I mean, obviously I couldn't hear that because I haven't got the audio on, but I've just missed the goal back there. I need to see it at half time. Salah with the assist. Diaz with the tap in. Nothing De Gea can do. Maguire's there going 2, but calm down, Mark. Don't hurt yourself for this crap player, says Drub. I'm sure we won't have the ball more than 20%, says Tashi. I think at the moment, statistically, Man United are 26% possession, 74% to Liverpool. So I was actually probably a little bit conservative when I said that it would be over 65%. They could have over 70% today. Matic looks knackered already. Well, Matic can't play 90 minutes, James. Calm down. We've done that one. And De Gea trying to pump up the players and instill some confidence. Maguire looks a complete wreck. No encouragement at all, says Matt. Ten Hag will be watching this game thinking, what have I got myself into, says Anshaman. Yeah, but on the other hand, things can only get better. What people don't realise is, and I find it quite funny when people say, oh, Ten Hag will be having second thoughts. It's not going to, in anything, if anything, you'd be relishing it even more, because you'd be like, there's so many things I can do to make this team look so much better and get me more praise. Like, we're starting from the bottom of the toilet pan and it's full of shit. First thing, you can flush, get rid of the shit, you know. So I don't think you'll be looking at it going, this is a bad job. I think you'll be looking at it going, it's a big job, but there's a lot of things I can do to improve it. Thank you, Callum, for your super chat. This is the worst start I think I've seen. It's literally a mess all over the park. I can't believe how physically weak these players are. Maguire looks like a lost puppy, says Sean Turner. Well, at least, 20 minutes, it's only 1-0. That's a positive. Ten Hag demanding he has responsibility for transfers is the only thing to look forward to, says Joe. And Mark, can we do some career mode instead of watching this? More enjoyment. 2-0. 2-0. Salah. 2-0. Didn't even see what happened there. The ball was on the halfway line. And the Blackpool beach of our back four. I say Blackpool. If you've never been to Blackpool in the UK, to our foreign fans, in Blackpool, you can go on the beach and there are 4 donkeys. One of them's called Harry Maguire. One of them's called Phil Jones. One of them's called Aaron Wan-Bissaka. And one of them's called Victor Lindelof. And it's just one little ball into Salah. He gets in behind Delo. And it's bye-bye from the donkeys on Blackpool Beach. But they'll be back again. They'll be back again. Absolute shit. One thing's guaranteed with Manchester United. If you're playing against them and you need a shit, there's a toilet in our back four to crap on. Toilet football. Absolutely shit. It's so easy. It's a training ground. Training ground exercise. Fucking useless. The donkeys of Blackpool Beach. Absolute joke. Absolute joke. What did I say at the weekend? About as useful as a red light on Grand Theft Auto. That's United's back four. Donkeys. That defence cost over 200 million. I don't know why people are surprised. I think people think it's banter. It's not banter. It's not banter anymore. Worst United side in Premier League history with the worst captain we've ever had, who also plays centre-back. We can't defend. If your captain's up front or in the midfield, you could turn around to your defence and go, look, I'm not organising you. He is in our defence. Not only is he meant to organise the midfield and the attack in front of him, he can't organise his defence. He couldn't organise a piss-up in a pub. He's a joke. Neville has just said that this is a waste of space. Is that him finally being honest? Love you, Mark, says Vicious Bin Man. Well, talking about bin men, at half-time, take your tops off and come out in black bin bags because you're full of rubbish. Don't you think even Liverpool's darkest days did Man United beat them so convincingly? Says it all, says Pratosaurus Rex. Marcus says Pogba bottled it. They're just absolutely crap. They're full of crap. They need to take some bloody laxatives because they're just full of shit. The goals are just rubbish. Absolutely rubbish goals to concede. I don't care whether you've got a coaching badge, whether you've ever played the game or you just play Football Manager. Their defending is a joke. We shouldn't even be 2-0 down. The goals we've conceded are what I call white flag. You could say white stick, but what I mean is white stick, the defenders may as well be blind, but white flag defending is basically submit. We give in. I mean, look at Rashford jogging around in the front position. Should be sprinting. I just can't be arsed. Absolute embarrassment. That's the thing that pisses me off. I'd rather have 11 of you on the pitch than this lot. They're an embarrassment. United's heads have already dropped so hard, gave up at kickoffs as Elijah. Well, yeah, I mean, we're just waiting to see how many goals we concede now. Does Maguire ever mark anyone? It's unbelievable to think someone can be that bad at their job. Oh, he doesn't. Jacob, Maguire won't mark anyone. He's trying to avoid getting the blame. He's always got to be the spare man. I'm not a violent man, but want to... No, well, I can't read that, Jay, sorry. This is disgraceful, embarrassing and disgusting. I feel like throwing up. No outfield player should be spared in Ten Hag's rebuild. No self-pride, says Daniel. Yeah, it's... it was... the thing is that both goals have come down the left-hand side as well. Putting Delo at left-back was a stupid idea. You've got Delo playing his first time at left-back this season against one of the best wide right players in the world. You've got Phil Jones playing his second game of the year in April against one of the best attacks in the world. You've got two of the best attacking fullbacks in the world not being marked in a system that doesn't mark fullbacks. You've got Rashford up front, who's basically looked like he's down tools since Christmas. You've got Matic, who doesn't look like he can play an hour. You've got Maguire, Lindelof, and Jones, who've got all the pace of a funeral parlour. And you've got a team that really just doesn't give a shit as well. It's a recipe for what it is. Inevitability. It's just a mess. It's just an absolute mess. And let's not forget as well, the best bit about all this is we are Manchester United. We are Manchester United against Liverpool, knowing that if Liverpool don't win, they probably don't win the league. And what have we done to try and stop that? Stubbing my little toe is less painful than this, says Daniel. Is there any chance to forfeit the match that will be less humiliating, says Jay? Well, if you get 3 players sent off, don't you lose the game by a certain scoreline? That might be cheaper. Joseph, thank you very much for your super chat. How quickly is Ten Hag getting announced now, says Gurav? Probably at half time. Man says, feel for Ralph. This lot couldn't care less. Unjustified egos, toxic board and a beaten manager. You need Ten Hag. You need a major deep clean, says Mantra. There's no way they aren't doing this on purpose. Playing that lineup and formation against these lot is literally the worst possible decision, says Salim. This team would struggle in the Super League of China, says Nemo, and Watford lasted longer this against Liverpool, says Oscar. Please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Sorry, but no way in hell will Ten Hag fix this team unless he sells 90% of the team, says Simon. Followed us for 45 years, and it's the lack of backbone. What are they doing on the training pitch? All of them can go, says Domingo. Ralph has to take some of the blame. He's not a head coach. Tactic today is wrong. No, Michael, I'm not going to lie. I said it when the team news came out. That going with the back 5 against Liverpool was a bad idea. I had major problems with it. If you're going to play a back 5, you've got to play Eric Bailly for his pace. There's no pace in the 3 centre-back positions, which basically playing three donkeys off Blackpool Beach. Fullbacks can't deal with the fullbacks of Liverpool going forward because they're already dealing with Mane and Salah. This is more painful than being kicked in the balls, says Matwin. How the hell the club haven't stripped him of captaincy yet, I'll never know, says Sarvish. Mark, I'm missing Van Hal and Mourinho now, says Nickette. Well, there we go. Salah's out on the right-hand side, up against the low. It's just too easy. We're only had half an hour. They're not going to stop. Burnley can give more competition to Liverpool, says Danish. And I think that's the big thing as well. You know, there'll be the inevitable, falling out in the fans as there always is. But there shouldn't be, because ultimately the big thing is that we're Manchester United. And there should be a level of dedication and communication and energy in a United shirt. And they don't give that. There's a lack of effort. There's a lack of care. And it's abundantly clear, because I don't think Liverpool are out of third gear here. Collinson, welcome to the Members Club. Mark, which players should be dropped under Ten Hag, says George. I genuinely, hold on a minute. Diaz skips past Lindelof. Well done, Phil Jones, goes for a corner. It's not just about whether you don't like these players. It's not just about whether you don't think that they care or they're not trying. Also, you've got to go, on their best day, are they good enough? I said this about Rashford this morning. On his best day 2 years ago, he's good enough to play in this game. But 2 years is a long time. That's over 10% of his whole career. He's not been good enough. Matic ain't good enough. He's finished at this level. Lingard's not good enough at this level. Delo, is he good enough? Wan-Bissaka, is he good enough? Maguire, for an £80 million centre-back, is the most overpriced signing in Premier League history. 80 million quid for a centre-back that is not quick, he's not agile. I mean, he's good in the air, he's just won a header there. But you don't pay £80 million for someone who can head the ball. And that's basically what he does. He's done well there, he's won a header. But he can't win anything on the ground. He can't win a foot race. He turns like a bloody lorry. He's just not good enough. Would Jurgen Klopp pick Harry Maguire? Never in a million years. Never in a million years. Don't understand how the recruitment is so bad. Glazers like shirt sellers, but this defence don't even have those. Trust in God and Ten Hag, says Gog. Ryan, thank you very much for the super chat. Joe says we were going to get clapped if we played a back five or a back four. We should just accept these players as rubbish, as Joe. Liverpool want it more. We ain't second or third to the ball. We are fifth and sixth. There's no press at all, says Lee Taylor. Not even a team anymore. A bunch of individuals. I hate seeing what the team I've loved has become, says Robert McEwen. And that is why, as well, when we talk about leadership, it's not just about your individual performance. We've got a captain who can't get the team to play with each other as well. Doesn't get mentioned enough. Everyone always wants to talk about Maguire as a player, and as a player, you can bring Rashford into the same. It's unfair to say Harry Maguire is the only bad player in a United shirt. There's plenty of other players that have been as bad as him. Some would say worse. But as a captain, he's a complete and utter letdown, because these players aren't unified. They don't play for each other. There's no system. You can tell that they don't actually like each other, some of them, and that falls badly on him. He's not big enough for this job. We've won a corner here. Don't get a nosebleed. Ranić tactic is like telling everyone you've got a PS5, but actually it's a PS3, says Daniel. Hi, Mark. We should get rid of all the back five, and I wonder why hasn't Sancho started. He's probably being kept back for the weekend, Rahul. Bruno with the corner. Maguire just heads it like a balloon, and Liverpool clear it. Amit. Mark, Thiago's playing like he's on the beach. Nobody getting close to him, says Amit. And we have got you too used to these players embarrassing us. The worst part is we all expected this. I hate all these players, says Aram. Well, Liverpool are on the attack here. Well intercepted by Matic. Oh, that's lazy by Bruno. Marnie goes down, wanting the foul. Fabinho plays on. Maguire. He's offside, surely. Yeah, Diaz is offside. Bloody Fabinho just skipped past Fabinho just skipped past Maguire here. Watch this back. It was offside. All Premier League teams better than Man United, says A6. And oh my God, I cannot believe how shattered our players look already, says Lee. If only we still had William Prunier and Gabriel Oto. Can't believe I just said that, says Graham Barber. Like Dunkirk, we're getting battered, but this time no one's coming across the channel, says Davies. Gone are the days when we could look forward to a derby pure crap, says Amber. And this part of Maguire's master plan, tank results to lower club value and get the players to sell. What a legend, says me. Welcome to the Members Club. Collinson, thank you very much. Well, one thing that's worth mentioning is with the league table on the screen is that goal difference. Our goal difference at the moment is +8. It's not great, but it's within touching distance of Arsenal and West Ham. If we get tanked here, our goal difference is looking really, really bad. The kit designers are the only people who with talent, says Daz. Gary Neville just said the players just want this season to end so they can hide behind the new manager and say it was the old manager's fault, says Ryan. Yeah, the fans aren't going to allow that. How's Mane not offside there? But they've given it now. Fucking hell, these offside takes ages, don't they? They really do. Please subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner to do it. Make sure you smash a like on the video and share. End the poll. God, yeah. I shouldn't need to end the poll. Fabinho just went round Maguire like he was Ronaldo 9, says Reese. Oh, check my latest tweet, Reese. I've just done that. I can't watch, says Eldud, any longer. I feel literally physically ill over this performance. Sweet Jesus, Marie and Joseph, what has happened to this team? I don't think it's a shock, mate. No manager can turn crap into gold. We've been criticising lots of previous managers, but these players are just crap, says Mario. Is Rashford into Bruno? First job for Ten Hag, choose the new captain, says Darren. Liverpool should give some consolation goals, says Zema Gaming. We have a whole second half to play. What changes would you do, says Emil? Do not bring Garnacho or Mabry on for a start. Just don't do that. It's not fair. That would be my thing. So look, McTominay said he can play 10 minutes. I love this team. Hurts like knife through heart, says Jack. I mean, the thing is, you look at the pitch and you go, there's loads and loads of players in blue. Can't get near the ball. Welcome to Members Club, Scott Brown. And currently, what's Maguire's price tag, says Eric. Mate, the price is what somebody will pay for it. You can have a Ferrari on your drive, but nobody wants a Ferrari. We haven't got a Ferrari. We've got a go-kart with no wheels. But, like, his value at the moment is what somebody else wants to pay. Thiago's doing little flicks. Like, we saw this against Richarlison. Thiago's doing little flicks here. He's mugging us off. There's losing and there's being mugged off. And we're getting mugged off here. What power do we actual fans have in power to demonstrate where it can be felt by the owners, says Liban? I mean, look, we can all demonstrate what we think about the owners. This is, the owners are ultimately a problem at Man United, the problem. But this is on the players. They're shit. You shouldn't be spending £80 million on a guy who's as bad as this. You shouldn't be spending £50 million on a right back who's as bad as that. You could go on and on and on. Is this one of the first times United fans have given up belief in the players, says Tyler? I'm not that old enough to know, mate, but probably, because when I started watching United in the late 80s, I don't really think there was disdain or lack of trust in the players. You still had people like Brian Robson playing in them days, and certainly not in the 90s or the noughties. I think even in the 70s, the players were relatable. Unforgivable, says Awaz. And who's lower confidence right now? Rashford or Maguire, says Nick Stevens. Well, you know what? I'm not going to do it. Defense is about as useful as a sandwich without bread, says H Plays Football. 40 minutes, 2-0 down, and we already know it's fucking over. I don't want to do this, but I'm going to do it. Do you want an update on the possession stats? 76% possession for Liverpool. 76%. It shouldn't be over 70%. That's disgusting. 76% possession, 8 shots to 0. Fucking disgusting. An embarrassment. It just, you run out of words to describe it, really. But keep them coming in because they deserve it. Rashford is the laziest player in the league, says Michael. I mean, I don't get it with Rashford. He's over his injuries. He loves this club. He ain't running around. He ain't running around. Look, whatever you think about Wayne Rooney, I've said this time and time again. If Wayne Rooney was in that shirt, whether it was at the end of his career, the start of his career, he wouldn't stop running. He just wouldn't stop running. It was inbuilt in him. Sometimes he ran too much. A real United player would clatter Thiago. Anthony said it about Richarlison last week. 100%. Thiago is literally mucking around on the ball, then hitting a long ball through everyone, says Marcus. Is it too early to talk about De Gea passes to the fullbacks falling to the fans? Heard he was world-class, but compared to Alisson and Edison, don't know what you're talking about, David. I feel happy for that kid who declined the club's invite to this game after the Everton game, says Barry. There is a joke, never seen us play so bad. All the team needs to go to, says Mark. Corner for Liverpool, headed away by Phil Jones. Oh, we've got to go on, slip it. Oh, Jesse, you could have slipped Rashford in then. That was a chance. Now it's Liverpool. They've got loads of players. They're queuing up. Lindelof, get rid of it, get rid of it, get rid of it, get rid of it. Get it out. They come again. They're coming again. What do you do at half time? You probably hope that Liverpool just keep going through the motions of possession and they don't score loads more goals, really. History of top 4 with Man United versus Arsenal versus Tottenham, says Liban. Hype Roy Keane is waiting on the bus after the game to give a few of these players a thumping, says Aram. Rashford wants a new contract, higher wages, and that's what this club do. They reward lazy. Well, he shouldn't be. Amir, he shouldn't be getting a new contract. This is the worst United team I've ever seen. These players couldn't give a stuff about the club. Get these frauds out, says Scott Brown. Shot from distance there. Yeah, I mean, look, everything everybody's saying is spot on. It's only words, but they're strong words, and they've been very embarrassing. There's no doubt about it. Very, very embarrassing. Rashford's just gone down here. Maybe he doesn't fancy it anymore. Nothing much seemed to be going on there that would make you be thinking, why has he got injured against Matip? He's got back up again. 44 minutes. We're nearly at half time. Yeah, Paul Pogba went off. United will celebrate a win versus Norwich like they're in a title race, and then tomorrow get to wake up and we go again, says Jacob Hawks. The thing is, it's not just, I mean, I wouldn't say at half time I want to watch that first goal back, because the second goal is just silly, but the first goal in the first 5 minutes, you've got to switch on. Nothing has changed since Jose's last game, says Seb, and what a joke, they're bloody walking, disgusting, says Oliver. Please do subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. We're only 500 away from 309,000. Thanks for tuning in. We're live every night at 8 o'clock, every morning at 10 o'clock. Obviously, we'll have the match reaction where you can vote for the player ratings, mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. We'll have the fan forum afterwards as well. Adam's actually at the game as well. He'll be giving his fan vlog. Every other team in the Premier League would have given Liverpool a better game tonight, says Glenn. Mark, do you think maybe this team is trying and simply not good enough, says Dazzo? Mate, if they're trying, that almost makes it worse. Because if they're trying, they're no better than a championship side. In some, look, it's either way, it's not acceptable. But if they're not trying, at least there's room for improvement. If they are trying, they're absolutely shit. Rashford going down so he can have a nap, says Edmund. Get Sancho on, Maguire off, says Sack. And Alisson's off his line there as the ball went over the top. Harry Maguire believes he's good enough to be in this team. Could this mean he's happy with the state of the club, says Jack. Mark, but the thing is, Jack, all they're bothered about is themselves. Mark, please hold nothing back at half-time or on the match reaction, says Jack. Maguire had the audacity to do an interview and say, well, there's a reason I get picked every week. He's deluded. He's crap. That's what he is. I think games like this make what City and Liverpool are doing this less impressive. There's a lot decent teams these days than in the past, says Jay. I could respect this team if all they were not good enough, but they seem to be both not good enough and not committed. And you're right. This is betrayal of the fans, the shirt, and the legacy of the greats who came before them. Disgusting, says Emily. Right, let me just stop. Well, it's half time. Tweet out and then we'll talk about it. So it's 2-0 at half time. Manchester United, look, as I said, they may as well have walked out onto the pitch with white flags saying, we know we know you're our biggest rivals, and we know that if we let you win, you might well win a quadruple. But you know what? Let's get it over with. Absolute joke. We'll see the goal. We'll see the first goal at half time. But I said, why did we pick a back five? And I'm still confused why we picked a back five. Let's go back to what we were discussing before the game kicked off. I said I wouldn't pick a back five against Liverpool because that means three centre-backs. What are they going to do? They're going to get confused. They're going to make mistakes, which they did. We'll come back to that in a minute. But Dalot and Wan-Bissaka will get double-teamed because we haven't got a system. If you play a back four, Dalot and Wan-Bissaka know they're marking Mane and Salah, and they can say to the wide player, whether it's Sancho and Rashford, you've got to track Trent and Robertson. If you play a back five, Dalot and Wan-Bissaka mark Mane and Salah, but there's nobody to pick up Trent and Robertson, so they get double-teamed. And then you've got three centre-backs who've only got one player to mark. And who scored? And look at it. Who scored the tap-in? The striker. We've got three centre-backs to mark their striker, and he ends up with a tap-in. Absolutely abysmal. We've got three centre-backs and none of them are quick. Their striker scores a goal with a tap-in because he's quicker than our centre-backs. We've got a centre-back on the bench who's quick. Do you not think it would have been a good idea if you're playing three centre-backs to try and contrast styles? Maguire is good in the air. Lindelof's good at reading the game. Eric Bay's fast. No, let's go for three slow centre-backs. The goal is completely preventable. It's crap defending. We'll see it again in a minute. There's a complete lack of cohesion. There's a complete lack of effort again. They are an embarrassment to the shirt. And, you know, we can all talk about pre-match interviews and everything like that, but they are what they are. They're an absolute embarrassment. And, you know, Ten Hag's a good coach, but he ain't going to make those defenders quick, and he ain't going to make them think, and he ain't going to make them, you know, anticipate the danger. But tactically, Rangnick's made a massive mistake tonight. If we'd have played a back four, that goal would have still happened. So why are we playing a back five? The only reason to change it and go to a back five is if you are going to prevent the goals that have been scored. And they haven't. and they still would have happened anyway. So we've actually, and why are we still playing a back five when we're 2-0 down? Answer me that. Why have we not changed the system? We're losing 2-0. Why are we still playing part of the bus football? Because we're scared. So Nigel Flowerard says Ranić's got to take the blame. Look, at some point, Ranić has got to take the blame. I think he talks sense, but he's still got to take some of the blame. This is cringeworthy. It's like watching an accident. You want to avert your gaze, but can't, says Mikel. I'm convinced that we had Fellaini, Smalling, Young, Valencia, Chicharito, we would win this, says Bryce. Wolves and Leicester with a better chance at top four than United. Utter joke, says JN. The issue is Maguire always wants to be free. That's why the back line is a shambles, says Kevin. Well, I can't wait to see this goal back because I'm convinced something happens that I don't want to say first. I'm happy Ollie left. Think he should have left sooner, but boy, did he make this lot play beyond themselves. Oh, shut up. Shut up, man, child. What are you talking about? I am not having this revisionist crap. We were better under Ollie. Just get onto the internet, which you must be to be watching this anyway. You've definitely got an internet connection. So go onto Wikipedia and have a look at Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's last 2 months and tell me we're in a better position now than we were then. Because we are. It's crap. Absolutely crap. But the scary thing is the players were playing for Ollie and still getting smashed up for worse. We're 2-0 down to Liverpool and we're playing crap. We were 4-0 down at Old Trafford. Let's not pretend we were any better. We are where we are because of Ollie. Because he basically rebuilt the club for 3 years on mates rates. And now we're getting exposed because those mistakes have come through and we can't turn the ship around quick enough. Biggest crack gap in quality between Liverpool and United is my lifetime. It's a complete joke how poor we are, says Man. If Maguire has any sense, he'd leave for the good of his own career. Just not good enough for United, says Colin. This ain't good, but you guys react as if we should have had a chance against Liverpool. Liverpool is one of the best teams in the world, but we still should expect us to match Liverpool. So you've just contradicted yourself. Thank you, Frederick. Don't need to reply to that. And never forget, everyone, as our captain said, this is one for us all. Look, 76% possession for Liverpool. 92% passing accuracy, 64% for Manchester United. That's shite. 9 shots on target, none for United. It's embarrassing. It's an absolute embarrassment. We are running out we're becoming repetitive. But hold this thought and do what you want with it. Let's watch the goal back first, and I'll come back to it. So, Diaz. Ball into Mane. Maguire is out of the game. It's just the goal is even worse when you look at it. It's absolutely even worse. Delo gets tucked in. Trent and Salah leave him for dead. Jones and Lindelof have lost Diaz, and Maguire is nowhere to be seen. That's your back five. It's embarrassing. It's an example of pace. And the scary thing is, we've got a quick centre-back on the bench that would have stopped that goal. It's just embarrassing. Maguire is playing in a back three of centre-backs and he's 10 metres away from Mane. You've got 2 centre-backs behind you, mate. You don't need to give him space. He's not going to turn and spin you. Get close. It's ridiculous. Let's watch this goal. So... Oh my! We've got a back five, and they're basically marking fresh air. Never forget, everyone, as our captain said, this one is for all of us. He's an absolute prat, says Brandon. I feel for the youth that are watching and supporting United now, how these players aren't fighting for the fans, says Sack. Hope Ten Hag given a chance to develop the team, says Ricky D. Supporting from India, and it's 1:20 in the night here. First time I've cried in a match, bro. Stay strong, says Vabath. Worst United defence I've seen in 30 years. Our transitional play is shocking, says Adam Kauser. I couldn't care less if we sold every one of those players. You know what, Adam? I just don't, on a serious level, I don't think these players can come back. I just don't think they can come back. I look at that 11 tonight and I think, well, De Gea can come back. Maybe Bruno can come back. But I mean, Alanga hopefully can come back because he's a young player. But I don't actually believe that people like Rashford, Lingard, Delo, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Harry Maguire, Matic, I just don't see them coming back from this. I think they're so tainted by these performances. Why has no one clobbered Thiago yet, says Alex Whitmore? Because mate, literally, right? Where do you think it went wrong having club first players, says Liban. Jazz says this lackadaisical show is the result of Ollie's man management. Ollie never managed the players. He just smiled, says Jazz. Absolutely nailed on the worst Manchester United side in Premier League history, factually and with your own eyes. They are absolutely terrible. They've got no leadership, no talent. They're a bunch of bottlers. I'd be more impressed if they came out in the second half in a different kit that was basically a black bin liner with 3 holes cut in it and a piece of rope round it. Because at least we'd know they're rubbish because they're dressed as a bin bag. They are absolutely terrible. They are rubbish. They are crap, rubbish, embarrassing stains on this football club. They're the worst team we've ever had, with the worst captain we've ever had, with the biggest egos we've ever had. They are an embarrassment. Liverpool are our biggest rival, and I find myself almost laughing at what Liverpool are doing to those players because they're not Manchester United players. You know, normally I'd be there going, this is embarrassing. They're taking the piss out of me. They're taking the piss out of me because I'm a Man United fan. But I don't relate to those players as Man United players. They are imposters. They are strangers. Liverpool aren't smashing Man United. They're smashing a team of frauds. They're not Man United players. They're an embarrassment. And you know what? I don't feel embarrassed by Liverpool beating us because I don't feel like those players represent me or you as United fans. They are frauds. They are not Manchester United players. To feel the defeat, you've got to feel something for those players. When Liverpool beat us, when we had like Roy Keane in the team or Paul Scholes in the team, or Arsenal won the double against that side, I felt it because those players were in tune with the fans. So when they lose, you feel that loss. I look at that and I look at some of the results this season. I don't feel it as badly as I felt it then because I don't relate to these players. They don't run and sweat blood and tears for us. They're just a bunch of egotistical bag of shit players that belong in the Championship. They're a joke. They don't represent us. I'm fed up of saying it. I'm fed up of hearing, oh, they can't stand what you say about them. I don't care. I don't care because I'm doing it so that you react. I don't care what you tell your hairdresser about United stand or whatever. I'm not bothered. I'm really not bothered because I'll keep saying it. You're frauds. You're a bag of shit. You don't deserve to wear the shirt. And I think it will be a miracle if Erik ten Hag can turn you into Man United players in the future. And the great thing is, you might think there's a new manager coming in the summer and we're all going to give you a second chance. I seem to remember when you screwed it up under Ollie, many fans were like, I'm not giving him a second chance. And I said, look, new manager, new ideas. We've got to give him a clean slate. We give them a clean slate. They're even worse. I ain't giving these players a clean slate under Ten Hag. I will give Ten Hag a clean slate. I will give his new signings a clean slate. I will back Ronaldo, De Gea, and 1 or 2 others. But the vast majority of that team, you ain't getting a clean slate under Ten Hag. You're a fucking disgrace. You're a disgrace. And if he picks you, well done. But I ain't going to applaud you and give you a second chance because you have a good game. I think you're an embarrassment. I think you're an absolute embarrassment. And the sad thing is, most of us know what you like off the pitch as well. Egotistical, no mirrors in your house, up your own arse. You don't care about this shirt. You don't. You care about the lifestyle you get wearing this shirt. The privilege of wearing this shirt is lost on you. You're a bunch of jokers. And if you want a career in football, you should piss off to your level and find it because it ain't this. It ain't this. And the people who are talking about Thiago, where's your pride? Where's your pride as a footballer? You've got a guy doing no-look passes 90% of the time. He's doing little back flicks. And you're just jogging around. Doesn't matter what shirt you're wearing. He's taking the piss out of you. He's not taking the piss out of me. He's not taking the piss out of Man United. He's taking the piss out of you. He thinks you're so shit, he can do a back heel. Richarlison thought you were so shit, he was trying to see how many headers he can keep up in the air. They don't respect you. They think you're shit like everyone else does because you are. And you've embarrassed yourself. What are you going to do in the second half? You know, try and win the second half. Maguire as captain sums up everything about this United side. Shambles, says David. De Gea is world class. When are these players going to man up and stop relying on him every season? Says Mark. Scholes saying Liverpool isn't a possession team. What nonsense is that? Says Deng. Mark, don't you have to use the washroom? Says Jazz. No, I'm all right. Masochist United, that's the only way I can explain or understand this group of donkeys, says Anarug. And if I do my job poorly, I don't get paid. Why these players get away with this crap, says Xander. Well, if you weren't aware, Harry Maguire did an interview before the game and he said, well, I must be doing something right. There must be a reason why I get picked every game. There is a reason. There is a reason. £80 million is why. Because this football club pays its owners dividends. This football club's still in debt. This football club is a business. This football club will make business decisions, Harry. We don't make footballing decisions. You're not being picked because you're good. You're being picked because you're an £80 million asset on our books. And they're desperately trying to figure out how they get that £80 million back. And the only way to do that is if you start playing good. So you get to play every single fucking game. Varane and Lindelof were playing well. Lindelof's house got burgled. He had a week off, and when he came back, you still got picked. It's nothing to do with ability. You're getting picked because you're an £80 million asset that they're terrified of losing on their books, which they will use. They will lose because you will never lead us to a Premier League title, mate. You're shit. I'd rather watch Zuma kick. No, we're not bringing that, Paul. Anyway, we made a substitution here. Sancho's on. Abysmal bunch of tosses. I get sent off this game, then Rashford just walks, says K-Flow. I'm trying to see what the substitution is. I think it's Phil Jones. This is what happens when you buy players on a PR basis, too fast, too furious. No, this is what happens when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has got 150 million quid to spend, but nobody of any decent ability wants to come and play. Let's call a spade here. Welcome to Members Club, Jackson, Manda. Let's call a spade here. We're in this problem because of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because the first summer we gave him the job, the club said, there's 150 million pounds to spend. United tried to spend it, and no decent player wanted to come to United because they were like, Ole Gunnar who? Like, I don't know who he is. I'm not a United fan. I don't know who he is. So United had to spend 150 million quid on a manager that no one really wanted to play for. So we spent 80 million pounds on a Leicester centre-back and 50 million pounds on a Crystal Palace right-back and then 15 million pounds on a Swansea winger. We had 150 million pounds to spend, and God, we were going to spend it no matter how. But we couldn't get decent players in, and now we're paying the price. That's how it is. How dare they, says Jonathan Mitchell. Tracy, thanks for the super chat. I wonder what video compilation Maguire will post on his social media after this game, says Muyad. He won a header. He won a header from a corner. You could do that. Please do subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner, we're very close to 310,000. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Another tissue. Yeah, we're just about to start. I think it is Phil Jones who's come off. Sancho's on. On the mark. Oh, Mark, they do have mirrors. Mirror on the wall. Who's the best centre-back of them all? It's you, Harry. Honest, says Glenn Chaplin. Why can't we get the Glazers out of the club, which we love, says Druv. We need to get rid of these players, mate, first. Like, the Glazers are going to take time. Mark, how messed up is it that Norwich went down 2-0 away from home and fought back, says Nick. The fight back starts here, does it? Yeah, I don't think so somehow. Please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. We're very close to 310,000. In fact, we're only 500 away. So bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. We've got a fan forum after this. We've got fan vlogs from the ground. We've got player ratings, match reaction, all of that. These players got overhyped because of price tags, says Ryan. People don't talk about... Oh, sorry. Scan the QR code on the screen. I forgot. I'll put it back up there for you. Boohoo Man are sponsoring the show. You can win an £800 voucher. All you've got to do is click the link in the description to enter or scan your camera on the QR code to enter. You can win an £800 voucher to spend at Boohoo Man. I'm wearing one of their Boohoo Man Active Top Rangers here, and you can win an £800 voucher through that. There, all you do is click, enter your details, submit, and we'll announce the winner on Tuesday night's 8 o'clock show. Also, if you want to just buy one anyway, or something from the Boohoo Man Active range, 40% off with the code Goldbridge. Check out Boohoo Man. Thank you very much for that. Brad says we can't even blame Pogba. With France, he has world-class players around him. These lot of jokes, says Brad Smith. Pratt levels for this United team, says Delicate Official. Ultras, what they're called, Super Prats. If any of them post anything on social media, I'm going to lose it, says Samir. And Sir Matt Busby wouldn't like this, says Tracy Taylor. Shane Webb, welcome to the Members Club. Carnine says, Mark, it's unfair to blame Ollie. All you needed to know as a player is the owners hired Ollie. The mess at the club was obvious. Social media obsessed midfield is useless. Don't press. They're lazy and don't want to run. The only thing I have to take from Man United is the Lego set, says Sean. Well, look, at least we've gone back to a back four, which is what we should have done from minute one. So there we go. But look, we've spent so much time talking about Manchester United. We haven't spent any time talking about Liverpool. Liverpool, this has been a walk in the park. That they're not out of third gear. If a football team's got 5 gears, they're not out of third gear. They've not had to work for either goal. They've not had to work for 76% possession. It's men against boys. It's just a complete and utter clash of talent. Nothing surprises me with these players anymore, says Nordson. Right, we're just waiting on Martin Atkinson to sort his bloody batteries out. Watch Maguire constantly flounder and then shout his head off at the nearest teammate, says Joel. Right, here we go. He's going to blow his whistle now. I'd be happy if we can keep it to 2-0. Goal, we're off. Atkinson might be like, I thought this was United versus Liverpool walk in the park for a referee, says Sharaf Kamafi. Well, no one's even put a tackle in as well. You make a great point. It's Man United against Liverpool. Like, if I was playing there now, I'd be an embarrassment. I'm not fit. I haven't played football in a very long time. But I tell you what I would do. I'd clatter Thiago. I would. And any Liverpool fan would do it to a United player if they were doing it. It's Man United against Liverpool. Not one player has shown me that they understand what this game's about. Not seen one good tackle, one bit of effort. And look, to be fair, I don't think McTominay's anywhere near good enough, but he would put a tackle in. Just so you can have a bit of a laugh, I believe we can get a draw at least, says Liban. And Bruno is one of my favourite players, yet he's been performing badly for so long, says Salah Ahmed. And Thiago today, just wow, not just ability, but look at the work rate, says Frank. I think Thiago has played well for Liverpool, but I don't think any of their players have had to work particularly hard. Phil Jones off. I mean, I need to start taking some notes for the match reaction, but the Phil Jones over Bailly mistake by Ranić is terrible, really. We're going to corner here. This is a bit like a goal for United. It's not a goal, but it's our best chance of a goal. Corner comes in, headed away. Liverpool are on the break. And Rashford won a tackle. Was it Rashford? No, it was Lingard. That's a foul. Come on, book him. Jones out, Maguire is still there. It's 6 as Knit. And Ollie left us with this. If it was a real manager instead of him, these players would be already... Oh, my fucking God. So Lingard's been fouled by Andy Robertson on the right wing. And Harry Maguire has ran 40 yards quicker than he's ever won in his whole United career to moan at the ref about a yellow card. Mate, we're losing 2-0. We've played absolute shit. You're trying to get somebody booked by sprinting 40 yards. As I said before the game, it's like spotting a dog crapping on your garden and running and shouting at it as it walks away. What's the point, mate? What is it going to do? It's like chucking snowballs at the sun. He ain't going to change his mind and it's not going to make any difference. And it doesn't show any leadership. Fucking just embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Something in his brain probably went, this will look good to the fans. It will show I care. Too late, mate. Mark your man. A bloody clue. He reminds me of, you know when you sometimes on the motorway, I don't know whether you see it anymore, when you see a dog in the back of a window in someone's car, and they've got the window open, and the dog has got his head out the window, smiling. I don't know whether dogs can smile, but it looks like it. They've got their head out the window, their tongues out, and they're like, they're really happy. That sort of sums up United's defending to me. They're just brainless. I'm not saying the dog's brainless. They just don't. They're not focused on anything when they've got their head out the window, having a great time. There's just no accountability, is there? There's no plan. My head's out the window. The air feels lovely on my face. I'm having a great time. That's basically sums up United's defence. No awareness, no passion, no desire, no fight, no clue. Exactly, says Gaz. As I say, if we can keep it to 2-0, it's not good, but goal difference might actually come into it in our quest for Europa League football. God, sentences you never thought you'd say. Goal difference might be really important if we want Europa League football. Oh, God, what happened? Where did it all go wrong? There's a great line about George Best, right, where he's had a night out. He's in a hotel. He calls up for another bottle of champagne. The bellboy comes in with the bottle of champagne. George Best says, put it on the side table. He walks around the bed. Miss World's lying on the bed. There's loads of cash on the bed. And the bellboy says to George Best, where did it all go wrong? And the thing is, it's not gone wrong, has it? It's just an amazing life to live. But with Man United, like, where did it all go wrong? Like, how have we ended up in this position? I'm not saying we should always be challenging Liverpool or beating Liverpool, but you should not be going to Anfield, or they should not be coming to Old Trafford. Remember, this is the second time. In fact, let's add them all up together. Both games against Man City, both games against Liverpool this season. It's not a one-off. Both games against Liverpool, both games against Man City, we have basically put the white flag of surrender up. That is never acceptable for Manchester United. We can't top this. We can't top this. It's a disgrace that this football club is in this position. And the thing is, I know loads of professional footballers. And you cannot just hide behind bad tactics. There is something called professional pride. Oh, God, Maguire's absolutely so lucky there. Salah was running at him one-on-one and Salah miscontrolled it. Oh, that was good. The club is sunk deeper than the Titanic, says Nans. And I don't think Maguire is actually good in the air. He just gets his slab head to hit the ball, but it's never to score, says Timothy. Let's bathe in the spoils the Edward era has brought upon us, says Delicate Official. Well, you know what? We might benefit from the fact that Liverpool don't actually need to go for it massively. They've already got the better goal difference than Man City. They've obviously got big games to come at the weekend against Everton. Then they've got the Champions League. So Klopp might in 15 minutes think, I might start making some subs. It all went wrong with Ollie. Well, it did go wrong with Ollie, but it's not all Ollie's fault. As I said, we had £150 million to spend, which is probably what we'll have to spend this summer. But with that £150 million this summer, you can talk about, we might not get them, but you can talk about Anthony, Timber, Chouamini, Darwin Núñez, Conrad Lema. That you can talk about those sort of players under Ten Hag with £150 million. You could probably get 4 of them. We had £150 million to spend in Ollie's first season. We didn't even renew our passports. We bought them all from England and Wales. And we spent 150 million quid on Dan James, Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire. Like, it doesn't matter whether that was 3 years ago or today. That is the biggest waste of money in probably in our history. We've made worse signings. I mean, Alexis Sanchez was a terrible signing. But 150 million quid spent on Dan James, Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in Ollie's first summer was just a fucking joke. An absolute joke. Hi, Mark. Thoughts on adding a rule where a team can throw the towel in to stop the game like boxing, says Mr. Dan United. Get Rojo back. Thiago would need concrete shin pads, says Ben. Never got sent off, Ben. Never got sent off. Don't know how. One of life football's miracles, but there you go. Get ready for the De Gea haters to blame him, says Ethan. I think De Gea and Ronaldo are above blame to me this season, mate. In my previous message about Ollie, I also mentioned that we were only vibes, no tactics. Ollie was bad. I just wonder how these bad players didn't do worse, says Manchild. Well, the reason, Manchild, is that the players liked Ollie because he protected Ollie. Ollie protected these players and they liked him for that. They don't like Rangnick because he doesn't protect them. And the mistake was that Ollie shouldn't have protected them because they're shit. So, yeah, the players performed a little bit better under Ollie because he protected them. But they shouldn't have been protected. Ten Hag is going to need a minimum of 3 to 4 transfer windows, says Foldy435. Chelsea, well, don't know. Well, Chelsea got Arsenal tomorrow, haven't they? Hopefully Chelsea win. How many transfer windows do you think the new manager needs to remove the players that are not needed, says Opinionated Observer? Well, we won't be selling people like Rashford or McTominay or Wan-Bissaka or Maguire this summer. There's too many players who are walking out the door for nothing, like Cavani, Pogba, Lingard, Mata, Matic. So we won't be selling any of the players that need to be sold this summer. So it's going to take at least a year or so. We've just had a shot on goal, everybody. Whoa! Wow! 55 minutes. That's what you came here for. We've just had a shot on goal. And what a shot it was. It was a miss hit by Sancho that rolled at about 1 mile an hour to Alisson, who could have done his Tesco shot before it got to him. But it's still a shot on goal. Let's go. We move. We move. What's Bruno doing now? Don't embarrass us anymore, Bruno. That's a shot on target and we're taking it. If Maguire gets sent off for putting a tackle in, I would feel a little bit better, says Jesus. I would, because he can't play at the weekend. He can't even do that. I'd applaud him if he got sent off. Wouldn't be playing against Arsenal. I mean, look, to be honest, let's find a positive. That against Arsenal, I would expect a very different Man United. Hopefully Varane will be back. We as bad as it sounds, we do need McTominay and Fred back. Ronaldo might be back. Cavani might be back. So we won't play a back five. Arsenal aren't as good as Liverpool, so it'll be a different game against Arsenal. But that doesn't make any difference to the fact that this is an embarrassment. Why we're not organising weekly protests against the Glazers? This won't end when Ten Hag comes. It's true method. But I think you are mixing up two things there, mate. I mean, the Glazer out thing has got nothing to do with this. You should be Glazer out whether we win the league or not. But I think people get confused by bad performance and start blaming the Glazers. The Glazers are bad owners. The protest shouldn't have stopped because Joel Glazer did a Zoom call last summer. They should have carried on at the start of the season, but they've started up again because we're doing bad on the field. And that, to me, is always quite confusing, and some fans as well. United not putting any effort in or playing shit against Liverpool is not on the Glazers. They've actually spent a lot of money on these players. It's a completely separate issue. These players are on 200, 300 grand a week. We've spent tens of millions of pounds on them. We've got 10 of the best 30 paid players in the Premier League who play for Man United. That's not on the Glazers. They've given them the money, they've given them the platform, and they've shit on the fans. So that, to me, is not about that. This is something very different. This is about the players. Sancho gets past Trent. No, he doesn't. With our form, would we actually get out of the Championship, says Tommy. Hi, Mark. Credit to Ranić for calling out the entire team apart from the goalkeeper. Probably the most damning statement by a United manager, says IQ. Yeah, maybe not the best time to do it before a game because they'll just use it as an excuse again. But, yeah. Alanga's just gone down injured there. It was quite a good ball by Rashford into Sancho. We actually did get them on the break, which you can get Liverpool on the break because of how they play, but we've just not done it enough. Bantered by Specsavers on Twitter. You can guess the punchline. It's a new low, says Nick P. Oh, but you know Specsavers, though. They're such a bunch of begs. Like, you make glasses. Like, there's a lot. It'd be like me saying every single game, it's the pink boots. It's the pink boots. Like, come up with some new material. All they ever do is just get in people's should have gone to Specsavers. We get it. It was funny about 3 years ago. You make glasses. You don't know anything about football. Come and manage United. Come and own United. In fact, sponsor United. Haven't even had a shot yet. What a joke. We have had a shot. Sancho's had a shot. It's there on the BBC website stats. And another positive, it was 76% possession. It's now 74%. It's coming down. Was it on me, though? Oh, was it? All right. All right. All right. Lil says Alanga's playing well. It's mate. I've got to be honest. Have you actually been able to analyse an individual United performance? I find it very difficult because to me, it's very obvious that Liverpool are treating this like a testimonial now. I don't think they were out of third gear in the first half. I think they've gone down to second gear now. And I don't think they're really trying to create chances. I don't. I think we're in that lucky, well, some would say lucky, some would say embarrassing situation where Liverpool are just basically, we're happy to take 2-0. As long as you don't score one, we're happy to keep it at 2. What's the chance of us frauding a result here if we keep it at 2-0, says Carrie Moore? I think we can keep it at 2. My first season following United was the David Moyes season. What have you signed up for, says Jackson? Yeah, that's not great. Should have started with a back four, says Bill Clinton. Yeah. I said it in the preview, said it before the game. I don't know why we went with a back five. We're more used to a back four. I mean, Wan-Bissaka's playing at left back as well. I don't know whether anyone's noticed that in the second half because, well, you should notice it because it's a fact. Wan-Bissaka is playing at left back. We've got a left back on the bench. We've played Delo at left back and now we're playing Wan-Bissaka at left back. Please do subscribe, by the way. We're only 200 away from 310,000. Let's see if we can at least hit that on this horrible evening for United so far. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. Here's Thiago. Still in the box here. Oh, they've still got it. Fabinho. Trent. It's like we're playing against Mum's credit card on Ultimate Team, says Jordan White. And with new structures, we're still going to take 3 months to do one signing, or do you think we'll be quick in the market, says Donald? We need to be very quick in the market because we can't start the season with these players. Henderson's just gone down to injured for Liverpool. Just while that's happening, remember you can enter the competition and win an £800 voucher with Boohooman, who are sponsoring our show today. Scan the QR code or go through the link in the video description. I'm wearing some of their Boohooman Active range here. £800 voucher is up for grabs for one of you United Stand members. Thank you very much to Boohooman. Also, if you want to get 40% off, please use the code Goldbridge. Matic has made it look to the 60th minute mark. Time for a sub, suspicious Brennan. You could do with someone like Paul Parker in that back five today, says Les Ferdinand. Even at his age now, he'd probably do a better job. You can do your player ratings in 10 minutes. They'll be coming out. Here's Salah. Little dink. Wan-Bissaka's got it. Man United on the attack. Alanga tries a shot. Can you shout out my YouTube, please? Says Richie's Food and Nature Island. Richie's Food and Nature Island. There's your shout out, mate. Still half an hour to go here. This is awful, says Anthony White. Oh, Lingard. Nearly got a second shot on target then. Horrible feeling when you know that the game's over after 5 minutes. Here's Sancho. Good run by Sancho. Have a shot. Rashford. Oh, good save. Alanga. Oh, for God's sake. Offside. 2 good saves by Alisson, but you've got to question. You've got to question why that's not in the back of the net. It's a lovely run by Sancho. Rashford's onside. Rashford is onside. And Alanga's onside. That would have counted. Bloody hell. That was onside. It wasn't offside. It would have gone to VAR and it would have been on. But he missed anyway. That's just a you can't make excuses for that. That's just it's a great run by Sancho. You get a chance like that, and look, it's not half a chance, it's a chance. It's crazy that Rashford is paid the same as Salah. Says Jesus, he's not, surely not. Is Bruno even playing? Love the channel, says AJS. This is awful, says Anthony White, which we've read already. He's got to score that. Got to score that. Brilliant play by Sancho. You carve a chanso like Chanso. You carve a chance like that, and he misses it. He never looked like he was going to score. Just joke. It was miles onside as well. That probably won't count as a shot now because they've said it was offside. Shane says, "Why didn't Sancho start?" Well, we should have played a back four. We would have won with Ronaldo on. I mean, he would play. So I can't read that beast. Get Garancho on. It's a bit of a horrible place to chuck him into, to be honest, mate. I don't think you should be chucking young players into this sort of an environment. Trotters says 2-0 is a good result. It's not a good result, mate. No loss to Liverpool is a good result, and any Liverpool fan would say the same about Man United. Don't lower your expectations that it's a good result, only losing 2-0. Good recovery by Rashford there, and then the worst pass you could expect. Fucking lazy twat. He wins the ball back and then just doesn't put any concentration on a pass. That's just typical. Condolences to Ronaldo and his wife, says Sean. And why do we look even less organised compared to any other mid-table team, says Sag. I'm not going to give anybody any credit anymore because you give them credit and then the very next second they go and play a stupid pass. I wouldn't go as far as to say that we need to apologise to Man City for not helping them in the title race. I mean, it's not like you didn't get 6 points off us for free. We basically have given out 12 points to Man City and Liverpool for free. The only positive is if we keep it below 3 goals is that the goal difference is not as bad as I predicted it would be. But a loss is a loss. You can't take a loss as a positive. I mean, I've said this before. I remember Man United playing Man City teams in the late 80s and the early 90s. What a goal. It's just so fucking easy. What a goal. Mane. Statue defending again. Bloody... I tell you what, after this game, take Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof and stick them outside. Stick them under Nelson's column with the lions. But don't make lions. Just stick them there. Donkeys. Because they're statues. They're just a pair of statues. And then get a shitload of pigeons to shit on them because they deserve it. It's Maguire's, man. I'm sorry, it's Maguire's, man. He's just fucking lost it. Oh my God. He has it's him again. It's him again. Robertson slips it to Diaz. Cross comes in. It's Maguire's, man, and he's let him go. 3-0. Fucking idiots. He's shite, mate. He's absolutely shit. Shouldn't be playing for England. Shouldn't be playing for Manchester United. He should be playing for bloody Burnley. He just hasn't got he's never going to have it. He's too slow, and he's not agile enough. Like, He's an 80 million pound centre back playing for Manchester United. He's marking Mane in the box, and he's so scared of how quick he is. He's giving him 10 meters. 10 meters. That's how much of a crap defender he is. Man marking for him is 10 meters apart. Don't watch that third goal back because Mane is his man all the way, and it's a tap-in. £80 million for that. And he's the captain. Why is Maguire always marking the air, says Ethan. Yeah, that's what he'll be telling everyone. Stick Mabry and Garnacho on. Why not, says Savage. Day in the life of Manchester United. Honestly, I don't know what to say anymore. Honestly, it's sad. Don't know about signing in. We've already got Timber at centre-back, says Ryan Barnes. And Mark, can we blame Maguire for being picked? Who's picking this team? We know he's absolutely useless. Yeah, but Amir, as Harry said himself, like everyone keeps picking him. Why does he get picked? That's the question. Do you genuinely think that this selection is what the manager actually wants? With every passing game, it becomes more and more confusing. As I said, there was a time in January when Varane and Lindelof were playing really, really well. Varane got dropped. Do the players know they're at a club with terrible owners? I don't understand why the Glazers are rarely talked about, says Jackson. Mate, there was a protest last week. I don't know why you're trying to pin shit players on the Glazers. Look, the Glazers aren't good owners, as I've said 3 or 4 times tonight already, but this is a game between Manchester United and Liverpool with 11 Man United players who don't deserve to wear the shirt. Mark, Maguire and inevitable United fans inevitably crap, says Gaming Bear. And stick them in Trafalgar Square and paint them, then they'd make a killing, says Yutz. Daniel Madsen says Maguire probably thinks he needs his name at Old Trafford. As I said, the only thing our defence is popular with is pigeons, because they love shitting on statues. I said 3-0. 3-0 was my prediction, actually. It won't be 3-0 because there's still 20 minutes to go. Bruno clears the ball, turns around to intimidate Henderson. Henderson laughs in his face. A true scene of the contrasting seasons, men versus boys, says Dan. And don't want to go on about Maguire, but in 30 years, I've never known a United player so arrogant, so poor at the same time. He's the defining player of the post-Fergie period, says Andrew O'Brien. You said at least it's 1-0 they score. You say 2-0 they score. I'm not blaming you, but stop. Oh, yeah, because it's definitely on me, David, isn't it? There I am running around like a complete prat for Manchester United. There's only 11 people to blame for this. Oh, my God. Please don't score here. Oh, we've got the ball. Ralph is 100% to blame for today. Tactics and picking the players, says Joseph. Well, he's not 100% to blame, is he, Joseph? Like, no manager's ever 100% to blame because the manager picks the team and the players go out there with the expectation that whether you're playing for Man United, Liverpool, Arsenal, whoever, is that you put some pride in your boots and you put some effort in. And yeah, I agree that the back five was destined to fail, but these players are a joke. Someone has a tally of the number of goals or games Maguire has cost us, says Chiri. Do you think Ronaldo makes a difference tonight, says Martial FC? And between United's last 4, Liverpool and City has ended up 14-1 on aggregate. Norwich last 4 has ended 14-2 on aggregate, says Raymond. There's Mane. Get in the bin, Maguire, says Sakiv. 15 minutes to go. You can do your player ratings on the unitedstand.com. It's open. We'll be going through that on the match reaction. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. I tell you what, if you can find man of the match, you'd be brilliant at hide and seek. I mean, I've got no idea. There's a needle in a haystack that needs finding. I've dropped the link in the video description anyway. It's in the second paragraph. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being your average. It's, I don't know. Maybe Sancho second half has probably been our best player this half. Could you give it him for the whole game potentially? Still 15 minutes to go here. The funny thing is, I need to just double check this, but I know a few Liverpool fans, and I don't think. No, I've not even had a message from a Liverpool fan, even though they're 3-0 up at Anfield, destroying us. I've had no message from a Liverpool fan at all, which just shows how bad things are. That they don't even see it as a worthy banter. They can't even spend a few seconds to banter me. And I've said it before. I said it when they won the title, when Ollie was the manager as well, that if they were to win a treble or a quadruple, then can we look ourselves in the mirror and say that we did everything we could to stop them doing that? No. It's 8-0 on aggregate in the 2 games we've played in the league. We haven't scored against them this season. Here's Sancho down the left. It's not a very good cross. Alisson's got hold of it. What do you think Ten Hag's thinking then? I think he'd just be looking forward to get started, really. This is about pride for the badge fight, says Jonathan Mitchell. Liverpool fans feel bad for us, says Tazzy. Can I give a man of the match to someone in the women's team, says B. Yakov. Give it to who you like, mate. Moments have left the building from Moments FC, says Druv. Get them. Yeah. Maguire with a big tackle there, but Mane just skips past him. "13 minutes and it's over." Oh, we've hit 310,000 subscribers. Thanks everyone who has subscribed. Bottom right-hand corner to do that. One positive, I suppose. Bruno is actually terrible. Lingard done more than him. Just gave him a new deal, says Anthony Jury. Eric can ask for 15 players minimum and they're really frustrating, says Stefan. With every fibre of my being, I unbiasedly cannot stand Harry Maguire, says Oz. And Mark, just keep an eye on Maguire for the last 15. When the ball comes in our third, he literally just stares at the ball. He's got no awareness, says Joshua Bowater. Mark, with a few more games to go, who at the moment gets your player of the season? De Gea, Matthew Paul, which says everything about our team. Our goalkeeper is comfortably our player of the year. The only of the 2 contenders could be Ronaldo or Sancho. Well, Sancho's not played half of the season, really. And Ronaldo's not really had any service. So I think that David De Gea gets man of the match. David De Gea gets player of the year, which says everything about United. We've just not performed. We've just not performed this season. Ten Hag is phoning Poch to tell him he can have the job, says R. Right. I'd give man of the match to Jones, to be honest. He's not always in the teams, as far as. Good cross. That Delo stops it. Sadiq says Harry Maguire's really bad. Mark, he needs to be sold. I don't think he's the only one. And I think some people often talk about that. It's not fair how he gets criticised, but it is fair how he gets criticised because he cost £80 million. Who spends £80 million on a centre back? He cost us £80 million. He's the captain of the team. Therefore, I don't want to hear this whole, well, why does he always get the blame when Lindelof's there and Jones was there and other people on the pitch? He cost £80 million. He's got a massive, massive ego. He never takes any responsibility. Anybody who watches United every week for the last 2 years he's been here, when he makes mistake, he blames the strikers. When he does well, he takes the credit. He's the captain. He cost £80 million. He's slow. He's got the turning speed of a double-decker bus. He's not a modern centre-back. He shouldn't be getting picked for England and he shouldn't be getting picked for Man United. He is, unfortunately for him, symbolic of everything that's wrong with this team. Over ego, not good enough. Sancho has been the only player with credibility, says Jump. Honestly, this squad is making me lose love watching football, says Tossing. I like Bruno, but how many more poor performances can he have? Says Stephen. And I know it won't happen, but it would be nice to read that Ten Hag has told the players they're all up for sale, says Nick. Maguire is the reason we lose or draw games. His stats don't lie. Please look it up. He hardly wins his games, unlike other centre-backs, says Christopher Day. You got Darren Fletcher here having a chat with Ralph Rangnick as well. I mean, what's that all about? I'm not saying that Fletcher's not giving him good advice, but why is Fletcher talking to Ralph Rangnick about tactics? They've never worked together until now. Rashford, greedy shot, should have passed there. If this team started the season, we've been relegated. Carrymore, 100%. And if we're a commercial club, we should have a worst player of the season. United fans pay £10 a vote and the winner gets a free termination, says Sean. Well, Rangnick reacting to that third goal there. I'm going to write that down for the match reaction. If he's angry about that third goal, he can only be angry with one player, and he keeps picking him. Spanish commentators mentioned how Robertson and Maguire played together at Hull and say, crazy how they both played on the same team. One has made himself what he is, and the other is a joke, says Daniel. Thank you for the super chat there from Joshua. Please do subscribe, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. You're very welcome on the show. We have got the overpaid, overrated, over it, bring the reset, says Andy. And De Gea and Ronaldo don't belong with a bad team, says Mark Goldie. We have got the match reaction after this and the fan forum. And I think we've got Jay on the fan forum. So I think that's going to be good fun. So I'm looking forward to seeing, well, listening and seeing what Jay's got to say on the fan forum. Here's Mane into Keita. Did our board not replace the coaches? No, they didn't, man-child. Most of the coaches at the club are still Ollie's coaches. Rangnick said Rashford needs to perform to get his place back. Maguire is still starting games and is just as bad, says Brand. And he is arrogant. Remember his Greek comedy when he asked the police, do you know who I am? I'm captain of Man United. Says it all, says Gaza. Look, I've had my experience with Maguire and it wasn't a very nice one. So I've never met him personally, but I don't think he's any better in real life, to be honest. Fletcher still has a big say in this side, says Seb Watson. I mean, I'm happy to get proved wrong if he ever wants to have a chat, but because I'll always give people a chance. But I think he is exactly what he says on the tin. Hannibal Mabry's just been brought on here. Fletcher still has a big say in the side, says Seb Watson. Well, it's nice for Hannibal Mabry to be on. I think he came on for Elanga. Lingard's gone down here, but I don't think he's going to get any sympathy because it certainly wasn't a foul. If anything, he committed it. I mean, well, fair play to Matic. This is a bit like running the London Marathon, playing 90 minutes for Matic. I mean, he barely plays anyway, and when he does play, he never plays more than half an hour. Rob, thank you, and welcome to the Members Club. Thank you very much for joining. Oh, no, it's going to be 4. Fuck off. Oh, that really does just fucking hurts, because it's like we've gone from 2-0 to 4-0, and if they were in third gear in the first half, they're in second gear in the second half. You got Maguire before the game. We're not doing it to stop Liverpool winning the quadruple. We're going to win for the fans. You haven't a fucking clue, mate. And it's his ball that causes the problem. It's a shit ball to Maybury, who loses it. Then we lose a 50-50. Wan-Bissaka, where's Wan-Bissaka there? What is... Oh, I mean, basically, the last 2 goals we paid Liverpool 130 million for. The Mane goals because of Maguire. The Salah goals because of Wan-Bissaka. Just useless. Not only have you beat us 4-0 Liverpool, we paid 120 million quid for those 2 players that basically got an assist on both of them. Nothing De Gea can do about that. Deflects over him. 4-0. Fucking embarrassment. Makes you want to throw up. Makes you want to throw up. Yeah. And as Jorty just said there, Maybury makes the mistake in the build-up. Why is he being brought on into a game like this? It does ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous to bring him on. Here's Sancho down the right-hand side. Yeah, Jorty just said there, 9 goals in 2 games we've conceded against Liverpool. Average 4.5-0. This could be 5. Mane skips past De Gea, but he's gone too wide. They want the 5th. Dear me. Deary me. Fletcher still has a big say. Okay, I've read that one. Rashford, another wayward pass. Fucking hell. I've got to write it down. You know, Maguire's going to get it in the match reaction anyway, but I think Rashford deserves a bit as well. Let's be fair. He missed a bloody simple one-on-one. And, I mean, Rashford's passing is criminal. It really is. Maybury's just been booked as well. Yeah, Maybury went in late on Henderson. Ten Hag announcement incoming tomorrow morning, Stephen. That'll happen. Tie together shoelaces of every Liverpool player and they'll still beat us, says Anna Rugg. Apparently, Ollie was the problem. He got scapegoated because of the squad. He lost to the Champions League semi-finals to Rash. You're talking out your arse, mate. Of course, apparently Ollie was the problem. Of course, he's the fucking problem. He bought most of these jokers. Bruno's just been booked. United is like a bad pizza. No matter how good the topping, it still lies on a rotten, stinky dough. Let's have a look. It's just a wild tackle by Bruno that probably should have happened in the first 10 minutes. Got no problem with Bruno putting in a tackle like that. That's the sort of thing you do in a game like this. It's just too late. I'm never going to criticise a United player for putting a tackle in on a Liverpool player like that. And I don't think a Liverpool fan would criticise a Liverpool player for doing it either. Frustration in a game like this, as long as you don't seriously injure somebody, you don't want to see anything like that. But, you know, leaving one in on him, you'd expect that of a Gerrard well, we saw Gerrard do it against Herrera, didn't we? Seen, you know, you expect that, but it's way too late. I wish they took off Maguire instead of Jones. Maguire has put the team in tough positions time and time again, and I really don't like Jones, says Vicky. Oh, look at Maguire now. He's trying to act all hard. It's only took him 2 years to try and get involved in little arguments. Mate, don't bother. I've seen harder diarrhea. Mark, this is the worst United team since the 70s. I'm not watching United for the rest of the season for my health, says Sean O'Sullivan. Well, we're not going to be playing Liverpool, are we, every week? Maybe he could have been sent off there. He was a little bit late on catering. He's already on a yellow card. He's been told to calm down. There's no point in sending a young lad off when you're in the 90th minute when you're 4-0. There's no need. Don't know why we expect anything more than this, really, although a bit of fight would be nice, says Tom G. The thing is, the game was over at half-time at 2-0. But the way Liverpool have played second half, it's embarrassing that they've doubled the score because they've not put really anywhere near as much effort in the second half. They've been coasting and they've still scored another 2 against us. That's how bad we are. Like, of course, Liverpool are going to try to get a couple of goals, but I don't think they were massively interested in getting any more than 2-0. And they've still managed it. Never seen us this bad in 40 years, says Stu. I just really hope, I know this is a mess, but you and the channel is my highlight of the season, says Stiggy. Thanks very much for the super chats. Please do subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. I just hope we don't have anybody in our fan base anymore who thinks that fans are being overly negative and toxic. I think those people need to actually apologise because the fans that have been moaning about these players all season are actually right. They're an embarrassment. They don't represent us. So I don't know why you stick up for them. I don't know why you wait for their autographs. I don't know why you follow them on social media. I don't know why you say the positive things you do. Because what they do to you, they take you and they wipe your arse with it. They don't fucking care. They're only bothered about themselves. Hannibal showing the passion for the shirt our players lack, says Jack. I think they're trying to get him sent off here. Andy Robertson is giving him a bit. Maybury showing some hurt and pride. There's Sancho. Fair play to you, Mark, for watching the full 90, says Malps. Well, as somebody just said, the most entertaining thing and the best thing for therapy is actually the conversation that we have in the chat. It's been one of the positives of the last 6 years. Because watching it on your own, I think you lose your mind. I agree. You've either got to turn it off or you lose your mind. So I thank everyone who's tuned in and been part of the therapy session tonight. Our quest for Europa League football still continues. Salah's in behind here. Good tackle by Wan-Bissaka. We replaced a bad manager with a worst interim, says Sarab. No, we didn't. We replaced a bad manager with an interim and the players down tools. That's what happened. You might want to check Ralph Rangnick's CV, mate, before you start trying to say that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is a better coach. These players just gave up in November. Hannibal's shown more character and guts than the whole team combined. Kudos. Don't forget to enter the competition, by the way. We're coming towards the end of this stream. So the link's in the chat, or you can scan the QR code, £800 voucher. All you got to do is click the link or scan the QR code to enter, and we'll announce the winner on Tuesday night's show. And if you want to get 40% off Boohoo Man Active Range, then all you've got to do is use the code Goldbridge if you're on the website as well. It's always been the player's fault. Hi, Mark. Can you give a shout out to my friend Josh? He's he feels very sorry for himself, says Sean. And how did Matic play 90 minutes, says Michael Reach? He should be in the Guinness Book of Records. He should. Glaze has sucked $1 billion out of the club, and it is going to take $1 billion to undo the damage, says Andrew Brown. Well, remember, we spent $1 billion to end up with this position. We have. It's a joke. Look, I'm going to go straight on to the match reaction. You can do the player ratings by clicking the link in the description. Mark every player out of 10, 6 being the average. Obviously, there's a lot to talk about. Some shocking performances. Harry Maguire, Marcus Rashford, Bruno Fernandes, experienced players in that team, embarrassing us yet again. They've got to go. Some of them have got to go and never come back. They're a disgrace to the shirts, and they don't care. I'll see you on the match reaction.